I am sure sports. You know me there, from coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never see no game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here. For the day done, you are gonna love over yourself.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crapper players. We are good enough. Remember, like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Trick Nick Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Watch this. You know, say the world general Deli Ranks says, I'm ready for it, you know. A lick up and a fall lick up, you know, say it's a high grade, it's not a Mali cup. Saying, big up, a matter of fact, remember big up the sponsors, them first. Complete Shipping, Sam Isaacs and Son, Western Sports. Big up, but you know how it go. ASK Courier, big up yourself, Showtime Ambulance, and we have big up Isato. And guess what? Me big up some of my brethren, them, because them are going to because it's a big dede. Big up Sambo. Big up Bats, Barris, watching the Valley, think me not see you. Big up yourself. Oh, again, Deli Ranks, if I big up Clint, and big up the general, you know what it go. It's all about Ali Cup, and a Folly Cup, August 13, 14, 15, 16, 137 Mountain View Avenue. You know, over excellence and that. It's a big day, so make sure you're there. Deli Ranks, I want my feet, man, my feet, you see? Ali Cup.
All right. People, welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I am man is man. It has been a long time. I haven't seen you. Yeah, I haven't seen you. Oh my Lord, in a bit and stuff. But hope everyone is doing okay. Hope everyone is doing fine. Hope you have been having a blessed time and enjoying some other content creators. A lot has happened in the footballing atmosphere since I was last here. So many things have happened, and today we're going to try to see if we can get into some of them. Yes, we want to discuss some of the things that has been happening in the football since we were last on the program. So stay tuned. It's going to be jam-packed. It is going to be a good one. It's going to be enjoyable. It's going to be informative. It's going to be argumentative. Yes, yes, indeed. But we are blessed. I'm so happy that everyone is doing well and thing. As usual, it is a day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. We look to the hills from whence cometh our help. Our help comes from the one who has made the heavens and the earth. All right. As usual, I want to encourage you before we begin, and I want to talk about organizational leadership and that the importance of delegation and empowerment. And so in Second Timothy chapter 2, verse 2, it says, "And the things that you have heard from me among many witnesses, the same commit to other faithful men who shall be able to teach others." And then Exodus 18:21, it says, "Moreover, thou shalt provide out of all the people able men, such as fear God, men of truth, hating covetousness, and place such over them, to be rulers of thousands, and rulers of hundreds, and rulers of fifties, and rulers of 10." Exodus 18, verse 21. So God hasn't called you to minister to everybody. All right. Just see to it that everybody is ministered to. So if you work in the corporate environment, you can't serve everybody, but just make sure everybody is served. Right? God will initially give you an assignment that is smaller than your gift. So control always leads to a vicious cycle. The more we try to control, the more afraid we are of losing control. And therefore, the more we try to control. So we must relinquish, all right, control without relinquishing responsibility, because staff determines if you will fulfill your vision. You can do all things, just not everything, right? So team chemistry is extremely vital. So when hiring a staff member, ask yourself, would I spend my day off with this person? If not, you may not want to hire them. So when hiring someone, ask, will he, did he, can he? When it comes to the will he, right, it speaks to the person's attitude. When it comes to the did he, it speaks to the person's faithfulness. When it comes to the can he, it speaks to the person's giftedness. I can is always better than IQ. So unity is not sounding the same. It is sounding together. So I hope that, inspire someone, all right, and encourages someone. Let me big up all the persons who are on the platform and making comments up and early. Jason Ferron, big up yourself. People them have beat me, all over the place. Them say, but it is what everywhere. Jason Ferron and people. Jason Ferron is not always on social media and platforms, So I don't know how Jason Ferron is always defending me. Big up yourself, yeah, sir. You understand? We try Bulla Malcolm, Rossies, and the Brosis Foundation. Blessings to you. You understand me? You need to call in one of them days here, and just give the people a little update, and what is going on down in your neck of the woods. You understand me? TY, bless up. You understand me? Style and flavor, how the city lock. Tell them, Coach Mean, they come out with a bang. You don't know. Coach Menze, you understand me? The track and field guru. They're going to take over from Hubert Lawrence. No joke. You understand me? Big up yourself every time. Richard Green, you understand me? Yeah, man. Not just the name, not any political affiliation. I don't know. Just saying. You understand me? Yeah. Reggae Boys commentary. Simon Preston, up and running. Chorus, up. Terrible production, generate memories for life. Says greeting, management, happy independence too. And family, I'm listening. Big up to all those in the chat. Like up the chat. You're too early, Turkle Man. And your independence celebration is the 1st of August. And we are at the 30th of July. You look a bit too early. Jarvis, yo, Paris, all the way up there in Canada. Big up yourself, my G. Yeah, man. Every time. big up yourself. You understand me? You know how it is. Yeah. Fireman, blazing. Yeah. Fire up and blazing. You know how it is. Yeah, man. And so all of you watching who you have not yet made a comment as yet, big up yourself, love and love and respect to all. All right. Again, people, you can join it at any point, call in, let your voices be heard. You understand me? We don't have to agree on all things, but yeah. Psalm 30. Hey, people, Simon, when I never know the Simon all a preacher, me just a figure that out, Yeah, man, all sermon and them thing the Simon do, Simon Preston do, Simon is a pastor, So when I beat the pastor, them, I have to beat Simon too, and just don't beat management alone. Psalm 37 verse 4 takes exquisite delight, and he will grant you the desires of the heart. I like that. Exquisite. Which translation of the Bible that? I know the scripture said, delight yourself in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart. The man. What nitro him? Fireman. But a fire for nitro for me, no man. He would have come in with something negative. How devil reaching at the argument? Or you just bringing devil? And most Manchester United is supporting a nitro. You're a red devil. Are you went to Duke? You're a blue devil. Are you a nitro devil? Which one? You understand me? I come drop devil thing in the God thing we are talking about. But big up the man, them, You understand me? The schools are in heights of preparation. Big up the 1738. You understand me? The great man in school. You understand me? Garwell Hamilton, Grit to Glory. The book is out, people. Make sure you grab your copy of it. You understand me? Yeah. Look out, because 2026 Manning's book will be out there. You have to get a copy, and support it. Also, remember, God given talent, go and support the merchandise. You understand me? And be blessed. Now, I have a guest that is supposed to be coming on. Of course, this time around, the speed bump and sleeping police has to do with, some adjustment in the football. And say it's a play on word because as we understand, Mr. Rudolph Speid, let me just read this press release. So this is not Manning's one thing. This is the press release. Simon, come talk to us about the press release. Now, Simon, I like how you're moving. You understand me? Yeah, I also want to give you a little bit of, we're going to discuss a little bit about some moves that are being made by Trinidad and Tobago in terms of their whole citizenship, which is in a bid to get players, what you call them, heritage players in the Trinidad and Tobago team. I don't know that process will be completed for this cycle, but this resistance that we have seen in Jamaica, certainly we need to look at it to see if it makes any sense at all when other nations are trying to expand the pool of players by changing certain requirements in their citizenship to accommodate heritage players. While in Jamaica, we have within our legal framework the kind of things in place to facilitate that, and yet there is great resistance in certain circles, right? So we are going to be discussing that as part of our discussion today. Here comes sure improvement. Blessings, beautiful lady. So, Manning, is it only our nation that there are pushbacks? CC, if you know of other nations where you see this, then you can let me know, but I can only speak to what I know, and what I know in certain sections of our community, Jamaica, there's a lot of pushback on heritage players, in particular the sport of football. It is way more accommodating in track and field, in swimming, in basketball, in rugby, in lacrosse, in those things. But when it comes on to our football, there seem to be a resistance. It is not. We don't see that in the educational sector. We don't see that in thank you, Bam, in netball as well. I know that in cricket there were some issues when, oh Lord, what is the name of that player? And he ended up playing for West Indies. I think he's the only player that I can recall in recent time that played for Jamaica, who was not born in Jamaica, Brendan Nash, right? So Brendan Nash was a cricketer, and I know that many people were even saying that he should not have represented Jamaica. He did. He went on to represent the West Indies and was a fairly good enough batsman. I think, like the state of West Indies cricket, maybe we need to begin to look. Imagine if Jeffrey Archer was playing for the West Indies. Maybe we need to look and see if we have heritage players in England and in other places of the world who are good cricketers who will come and apply themselves. But certainly in football, you understand me? In football, Rob, you know, I want you to call in and talk some of these things. Certainly. And we would do with Jeffrey Archer played for the West Indies as well, Bam. I am telling you. But this whole thing, because Trinidad is actually, like I said, I don't know that it will come through for this cycle, but I know they are really pushing to make certain adjustment, all right, so that they can have heritage. Let me just find it and read it for you. Seeking to adjust. Yeah. Yeah. So they are trying to adjust that, right? So that they can. We have a few players in England. See, we have a few players in England playing county cricket that can play for the West Indies. Most of those players have Bajan heritage. There you go. Jeffrey Archer and Chris Jordan. Those are two right off the bat. And so I think we probably need to, instead of trying to minimize it, we need to expand it. But Rob Smith, like, I want you to call in today and, you know, just give your take. I know you normally type in the comment section, but I want people to call in and give their take on the recent, announcement from the Jamaica Football Federation. As it relates to the appointment of Mr. Rudolph Speid. So let me just go through this press release, kind of, because by the time the press release came out, the news was, as Jamaicans would say, was stink at the road. So let me just read this. Rudolph Speid's role with the senior men's national team. The Jamaica Football Federation is pleased to announce that Mr. Rudolph Speid, chairman of the JFF Technical Committee, has been appointed to serve as technical advisor to the senior men's national team for the remainder of the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying campaign. All right, now, so this from this press release, it is clear that he still holds his position as the chairman of the technical committee. All right. So he's still the chairman, and he has, like this press release says, he will serve as technical advisor for the World Cup campaign. All right. Just reading the press conference. Simon listening, so if anything needs to be clarified, he can help with that. All right. Says Mr. Speid brings to the role a wealth of technical knowledge and competitive experience, having led Cavaliers to the Jamaica Premier League titles in 2021, 2024, and 2025, and most notably securing the 2024 CONCACAF Caribbean Cup. In his advisory capacity, Mr. Speid will provide detailed opponent analysis, all right, specifically for upcoming matches against Bermuda, Curacao, Trinidad and Tobago, as well as technical insight to support the preparation and strategy of the coaching staff. President of the Jamaica Football Federation, Mr. Michael Ricketts, welcomed the appointment, stating, following discussions with head coach Mr. Steve McLaren, it was agreed that Mr. Speid deep knowledge of the regional game and his analytical strength makes him ideally suited for this role. Mr. McLaren believes Mr. Speid's contribution will significantly enhance the team's preparation during this critical phase of qualification. Additionally, the head coach has indicated his intention to further strengthen the technical staff, and further discussions on this matter will be held in due course. Mr. McLaren also shared his confidence in the appointment. From my very first interaction with Mr. Speid, I recognized the depth of his footballing intellect and regional expertise. His accomplishment in Jamaica and across the Caribbean speaks for themselves. As we prepare to face Caribbean opponent in the next qualification window, I am certain that his perspective will be a valuable asset to the coaching team. And then the Reggae Boys will resume their FIFA World Cup qualifying campaign in September with two key fixtures scheduled September 5th, 2025, away versus Bermuda, right? 5 p.m. on the Jamaica game at the National Stadium, 7 p.m. The JFF, or the Jamaica Football Federation, looks forward to Mr. Speid's contribution and remains committed to providing the necessary support to ensure the senior men's. All right, so that is it. All right, so I want you to call in and give your perspective. There is a conflict of interest policy, which is on the we had gone through some of that, it is in their bylaws, which was available even on the YouTube platforms, voice stand. All right, we have a caller, so let me just get the call. Miguel.
What's up, Mr. Manning?
How you doing, man? Bless the Lord, man. I'm doing good. Listen, I am not asking any questions, and I'm going to give people, as long as nobody not going down any road that is, kind of disrespectful and cuss bad word and them things. But I'm listening to this evening, so I am doing well. How are you?
I'm good, my brother.
All right.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, then. Go ahead and, talk to the people. They are listening to you on your thoughts on this.
Yeah, man. I've been listening to all the critics about Mr. Speid's appointment. You understand me? And as I said, two things can be true at the same time. One, on the face of it, from an administrative perspective, it may not have the best look. You understand me? However, for none of the critics that I've heard could not honestly say that Mr. Speed cannot bring some positive attributes to the program. They are not speaking about his capability as a, a, a football-minded person within the country. You understand me? They're more talking from an administrative perspective. But based on how deep we are right now and how needy we are in terms of getting some wins from the rest of the games, I think we need to set aside those administrative queries for now and focus on his ability. And there's no question about it that Mr. Speed has the ability to bring something positive to the program. And at the end of the day, I don't see why Mr. Speed would not want the best for Jamaica football. You understand? When people are acting out of impulse and emotion, at the same time, sometimes we have to sit down and have some critical thinking and just reason this thing out. Can he bring something positive? Do we need as much help as we can get? Of course we do. And is Mr. Speed, does Mr. Speed have some sort of track record when it comes to especially Caribbean football? He does. So why we beat up himself for that, behave like that and talk about, oh, I'm a technical man and I'm a technical this. Yes, but at the same time, look at the bottom line. We need all the help we can in the upcoming camps, and that's it. I think that's all we need to focus on, brethren, and stop being emotional about the whole thing.
All right. So let me just ask you a couple of questions. A lot of people, which is, don't you think people have a right to say that there is a clear conflict of interest?
Well, yeah, you have a right to say.
Yeah.
So there's a clear and that's what I'm saying. Two things can be true at the same time, right? So from an optical perspective, from an administrative perspective, it doesn't look right. You understand me? However, from a football and practical perspective, Mr. Speed is one of the brightest minds in terms of footballing knowledge in Jamaica and possibly the Caribbean. So why not utilize the good in him for our best interest? You understand? It's, for example, let me give you an analogy, right? It's like you have a hacker, right? And he's so good, right? And he commit all these crimes or whatever, not insinuating anything, right? He commit all these crimes and everything. But the government find him so good at this thing that they employ him to find the hackers. You understand me? Regardless of the fact that under normal circumstance, they wouldn't have been employing someone with a criminal background. You understand me? So I'm saying this to say that even though administratively it may seem like a conflict of interest, right?
Seem like a conflict. I think what people are saying, is it doesn't seem like a conflict of interest. Because if you are the technical chairman, how were you recommended? How were you interviewed? How were you appointed? If you chair the committee, I think that is the conflict that people are talking about. And then the other conflict is if a popular player is not there, wouldn't there be question about whether or not, because it has been said consistently that Mr. Speed is involved in the selection of the team, and and I mean, he has denied that on many occasions. Now, when you have a role like this, aren't you exposing yourself to that kind of sentiment? And then people will say perception is reality. Isn't that a real argument?
You see, at the end of the day, Manicba, and I'm gonna answer you. I know you want a yes or no, but I'm gonna
man, you can answer. Go ahead. Yeah.
Right. At the end of the day, a lot of these things can be construed as semantic, right? But for me, I focus on the the good out of that can come out of it. That's all I'm focusing on. You understand? Me know what's the bottom line. Connecting as a pause or why me. Right?
You said it already, still on Bumps. You must take out just a line. I'll leave out the other part there.
Right. But, you know, I want to focus on the task that we have at hand and whatever we can get to contribute to it. You understand me? So, and if we can answer the question and say, can Mr. Speid bring some positive to the program? As long as that answer is yes.
All right. So let me ask you. All right. Everything you believe so. So let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question. I want you to give me 3 things that you know you're basing your you're basing your response on in terms of you believe that he has the ability to add something to the program that is not really already there. So give me the 3 things that you think he can bring, and based on what you have, those are 2 or 1. Give me something.
I can give you 1.
All right, give me 1. Yeah.
From my observation of the post match press conferences that the coach has been having, every day you seem to learn something new about the Caribbean team. And he elaborated that, well, I didn't know that, you know, if you want to left the step why all this took me by surprise.
But no Caribbean team, you know that no Caribbean team has defeated the coach though, except for a friendly game against Trinidad. But we have defeated the in all. No, what I'm saying, in all, no, man. No, but what I'm saying though, in all the games that we have played against Caribbean teams, the coach has won, except for the friendly, right? And that was a draw. Thank you, Simon. So we have not lost a game under this coach to a Caribbean opponent. 5 wins and 3 draws versus Caribbean teams of the 8 games that he has played. So why do we think he needs help with Caribbean opponents?
All right. I'm not going to try to come on this place and be like me with no football to the eye.
No, man. Okay.
But my question is this. We may be winning, you know, brethren, but at the same time, we are not playing with the level of conviction that can give us some sort of comfort that we have a high probability of going to the World Cup. A lot of people are still not convinced.
I have a question to ask you, but I think it's going to be troublesome. But Miguel, here's what I want to ask you. Based on how Cavaliers play, you watch Cavaliers play?
No, period. Just the major matches. Not frequently.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
you have a point. I'm not trying. I want you to know that I'm not trying to like dismiss your point. I'm just asking questions because the people in the chat can't ask you. So I'm just asking because you cannot. You are right with your point, but it doesn't mean because they are having an issue, they are wrong for having their issues.
And I said that I didn't say that they're wrong. I'm saying 2 things can be right at the same time. But I'm saying in the best interest right now on the short-term objective, we need all hands on deck. If it's even half a hand, brother, put it on deck.
So you're okay with the done? Are you okay with the done starting you to send the kids back to school?
It's me okay.
Just ask a question. I'm just asking you a question. Are you okay with the done? It's starting your company and your business so you can have a treat to send the kids back to school.
That's the correlation, Mr. Brother.
You don't see it? All right, boss. That's no problem.
But I don't find to think all of my life. I don't be my college.
Yeah, man.
I don't find that. Yeah, man, I respect for the program. Good program, my brother.
Yeah, man. All right, blessings every time. Yeah, all right.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, people. Peso, you need to call in, and because you have a problem with your next man, Peso. Every time somebody have a problem, you have a problem with them. Why? Why you have a problem when people have a problem, and you always have a problem? No, I don't understand your reason. But the caller made some good points. And like I will say, given what Mr. Speid has accomplished with Cavaliers, not with the national team, with Cavaliers, we can say, yeah, maybe there are things that he can see. But I don't know. Oh, well, I see Peso calling in. I'm going to let Peso talk. And just like the last call, I'm not going to interrupt him. Let him finish. Welcome to the show.
Yo, man, where you see I go and go have a problem? Man, it's not everybody entitled to your opinion.
Good evening.
I for one, you know.
Hold on, Peso. Good evening. Good evening. What first thing?
Yeah, man.
Hold on.
Yeah, man.
Just work with me. Just say. Just say that.
No, man.
Mr. Say Musa.
No, man. No, listen, man. Yo, I don't have a thing in the pan. You know, say after them, I truly work and through half a week or Friday holiday.
Yeah.
That's why I really a chance. So my mind when my school tell me, it's all right. All right. I for one, 10 minutes. For me, Speid shouldn't run the team, none at all. Fine. You have to select him as an advisor. You know, they don't select Speid as a coach. To me, if you give a person advice, him have to take it. Because he's in charge. So me look at it. See? But the problem is...
Okay. So you're saying that he can give the coach advice, but the coach don't have to take his advice. Okay.
Exactly.
So let me
the problem is...
Hold on. Let me ask you this. All right? Let me ask you this. So, if the coach get advice from Mr. Speid, let's use your logic, and the coach don't take the advice, and the team don't play good, what should Mr. Speid do?
What do you mean? What man is?
No.
Man is, they both up with the coach, man.
No, man.
Speid is not the head coach.
No,
now the assistant.
No, man, follow the point.
Speid is advice for role, man.
Yeah.
Just to give advice.
Yeah, man.
That's all it is.
Yeah,
more.
Yeah, man.
But the problem people have it.
Yeah, man.
Because Speid is head of the technical committee.
Right.
So they must say, here.
Yeah, man. So
they just put it all right. To me, them say, all right then. I'll give them Speid one space then.
All right. No, man. So here's what.
Then put up in him. As a technical advisor.
So technical advisor. So here's what I'm saying.
Right.
So he is the chairman of the technical committee. He sits on the committee that recommends. It's a recommending board in terms of So so you recommend that a coach be fired. You recommend that a coach be hired. All right.
Right.
So watch me. So if he gives advice to the coach as the chairman of the technical committee and the technical advisor, the coach don't take that advice and the team say loses a game. Let's put scenario number one. As the chairman of the technical committee, what is he going to do about that?
Well, when I was your Speid say in the technical committee role, I know him alone make decision. That me here say all the while, time out, you know. But true because he might mean want to come up front all the while. That's why persons have to say him I have a clear conflict there.
So let me ask you a different question then. Seeing that you don't. All right. So if the team does well and he comes out and says, well, the coach took my advice and the team won, would you be okay with that?
Well, because the team win. I win in
so when
qualify for World Cup.
So when the team wins, he gets credit for giving technical advice. But when the team...
what I said, man, I said...
I'm asking. All right.
No, let's not put on money. What me I say, Mr. Speid can't give the coach advice, coach not to take it, and vice versa. I'm just saying all that. Because that's what going to happen,
Okay.
Because I give my opinion, so we can't speak to Speid, Now the coach,
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I say.
Yeah.
But the problem we have in this country, persons believe that nobody from Jamaica not good enough. From a Jamaican run the team with a star or player. A clear conflict at all times. So no way our football will move further if we try to stand up on our own at one time. Most of the persons will beat down Speid, because most of the persons from there. So me have people say they boycott the team. We have the screenshot man pass on program. So if you boycott the team, and me to do in that complete team, and this and that.
We're not going on that wild goose chase.
Right.
We're not going down that wild goose chase. But can you understand when people say you may not believe it, But when people say there is a conflict, if you're the chairman and the technical committee, and you're also going to be giving technical advice to the coach.
Agreed, Manins. But listen, Manins, who are the persons in the JFF? Not them running JFF, sir. Not them voting and put them there. So let them run it.
Yeah.
Fans for that party like come say they don't like this and they don't like that, From the team perform, there's nothing, I work for one qualify. That's the main objective, But the persons them, because them not see Speed because of Cavaliers. I mean, man say Speed put the team because what man say that the Nitro. Say either a team will play like a Cavaliers and Speed play this type of football, which I doubt that. Because to me, if McLaren is that dumb then, him hire me. Him should have simply said that, come here, this argument everyone say, he players them make you McLaren. That is utter rubbish. No player shouldn't make no coach. If you're fire coach, you fire coach. Players just come and play
Pesa,
represent.
Pesa, where you hear that?
Yeah, tell them, man, we hear that.
No. So Pesa, not because you hear something mean that it is true.
Agreed. But me I said,
so
this coach.
Why would you repeat
this
Pesa, why are you repeating it? Are you making an argument about it when you can't tell if it is
no,
right or true?
Honest, remember saying, are you two spaces? You always hear all this manner evil, said this and that. So people always don't talk. Just like with Speed now. A Speed have a problem because the man don't like Speed. Because they know what, like me say, for me don't want to see Speed on the team, but I'm a fan of Jamaica. Speed being their technical advisor. To me, that can't stop the team to qualify if we qualify. That is just my honest opinion.
So Peso, all right?
Right.
So, a lot of the things that I can't comment on, all right?
We know that, man.
All right. No, man. Meaning a lot of the things, because you say you're here and things, that have nothing to do with me.
All right. So, to me, this coach, come here, man.
You're not but go ahead. Yeah.
Mayor, sorry.
All right. Peso, do you understand? So let me give you an example. That's a simple example. If a Cavaliers player is doing well and gets selected to the team based on performance, can you see how people would view that as the influence of Speed more so than the player being good enough? Is that a reality?
Oh, you talk when the team up now, you talk?
Yeah.
Or before?
So say, for example, Christopher Ainsworth gets called to the squad in September. All right?
Yeah.
Could you see why people want to say it's because Speed is now a technical advisor, why this player is there? Say, for example.
Agreed.
All right. Could you also see, say, for example, Leon Bailey is not in the squad. Could you see why some people would want to say this could be the influence of Mr. Speed, even if it is not?
But man is remember,
No, man. Listen. All I'm saying.
You understand clearly what you say, But man, remember I said before, the squad of Paul, what they them say, as Speed went busy. I'm hear the coach talk out time out. Say all the while he want to pick busy, but busy always injured. But through the coach go play busy, them say Speed pick team busy play. What these persons in a Jamaica football are fans. No care what, standing against a person, there's nothing what he do. They're not going to agree with it. Friday don't like him, none at all. So whether we are not. And for me, personally, nobody locally if you don't make a team. September winner.
We're not. No.
Me I tell clear.
Peso, you have some conversation that we're not having. We're not.
Yeah, no, man, my opinion I give.
No, but give me opinion on some things that we not discuss. You talk about local players in squad and nobody and JPL.
Remember, man, you pray something when it happen yet. You saw when the time come about Speed and here's what we just ask me. You can ask me then. If you know, we can answer that.
Fine, that we can understand. But Peso, all I'm saying, Peso, is this. There is a clear conflict of interest. Now, what I will say is that Jamaica's football is littered with conflict of interest. All right? So maybe it is something that is unavoidable. All right? But we have to appreciate when people bring it up. We cannot pretend like people are wrong for saying that there is a conflict of interest. We cannot, because there is. What we can say, in spite of the conflict of interest, let us see if this can work. No, like I said, the coach need technical help to play against the Caribbean teams when none of them has defeated him. Is that really so? All right, so
no, you don't need no help there.
So why would he
agree with you?
Right. So my point then is why do we need technical advice? Like, how do we justify it?
Because
because
JFF president riches them running football, so them feel it at this time. Speed can help based on what him doing with Cavaliers and like Kagakoff recently. So they feel him can add something different to the team. But persons
so let me ask you,
Speed because
if Whitmore goes further with Mount Pleasant, goes further with the Mount Pleasant team in the same thing that Speed. Say they go on to the semifinals. Right, they may not play Inter Miami, but they play one of the big side and they go semifinals, lose on penalties and perform very well. They win the JPL. Would you say, based on what he has done with Mount Pleasant, he should be a part of the group of coaches going to the World Cup?
No, man is Whitmore doing time and don't do the national team. So we no advice. So we don't need no Whitmore.
Okay.
So
it is not.
The problem is it's a conflict because he is a technical chairman committee, and to him that's the problem. The man don't want to Speed. As I say, to me, we don't want to see him on the team, but he's there. What we can do?
Yeah,
that is it. So we don't like Jamaica. Come here, man, see already, Say France Speed did not see. Actually, I'm curious how they carry. So Jamaica now qualify, right?
Okay. All right, Pesco.
And to me, man, it's all this start nowadays. But JFF, this and that, when Captain Burrell, Harris with around the football, as strongly only up on the football. So nobody will man up on 19 can't tell me about Jamaica football.
Pesco.
So we don't want to hear it.
Pesco. You must also appreciate that many of these platforms weren't operating during that time. So if they
agreed, all of these conflicts was worse back then.
Yep. But Pesco,
I was on court for half of you players and they call for the national team.
Pesco, but what I'm saying though, don't act like people would not have been. If you had YouTube and stuff and all of these access to these things, people that still have been talking. You only had like JBC and CVM back in them time there.
Yes, man.
You never did have a cell phone before 1998 in a Pesco.
No, man, we have a house phone, man.
What kind of house phone you have?
Well, somebody live up on the compound before them, man.
Okay. But you couldn't call nobody from the house phone, Pesco.
No, man, a house to house, man. Nobody have a cell phone. That's different.
You don't call
house to house, I mean. House to house.
What do you mean house to house? What do you mean house to house?
The compound houses, man. From what we used to live behind the factory to over the factory.
What do you mean? No, I don't understand what you mean by house to house.
Then, remember say manage. Well, all right. Remember say when we live a scheme, we had a house, apart from a house phone on the scheme back then. And the company house, we have house phones, so we can call from house to house like that.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
So like on the compound, you could call the
people. At my house, where my grandmother used to live in.
Okay.
At that time.
So you couldn't call outside. Yeah. You know what?
Right, because telephone was a privilege. And what I'm saying, the problem is, in this country, there's always going to be persons here with no football. As nobody local run the national team. No, be a problem.
So we not discuss that.
No, man, our constitution states in the JFF. If you're not born here locally, you can't be a part of the JFF. So all what cost.
Pesco, we not discuss that. We not discuss that. Pesco, we not discuss that. We not. So what you think? Because I hear that your big coach is part of the under 17 now, coaching the under 17. What do you think about that? Wendell Donzel.
What's what?
Wendell Donzel.
I first news that to me.
Yeah. What you think about that?
Well, I track record in chatting, but I work already, so.
So we should go back ready see what is it.
Yeah, no, man,
Me just ask him.
I'm not interested in youth football.
Okay.
So me not see the care of youth football. Me tell you that all the while.
All right. Big up
Because
yourself.
politics just a worse. Politics just a worse than the Steelers team.
All right. Big up yourself. Big up
Yeah,
yourself.
man, wait up.
All right,
Oh,
Pesco.
yeah.
All right. See, yeah, but people, that was special. Yeah. I don't know if Pesco understood. Any other question? And the stuff. But yeah, the press release clearly states that his role will be providing information on opponents' knowledge is power, as we are 6 games away from our did Mr. Ricketts who have the interview? You can send it to me, I'll play it. You can call in and tell me what you hear from the interview that he did, man. Yeah. Okay, that's what I call. Oh, Lord of mercy. Yeah. So, people call from host to host. Thank you. People never used to call it. It's social. Thank you so much for listening. So if these kind of platforms were around during the time of Burrell, maybe they would not have been able to get away with a lot of the things. So as things and times have changed, you understand me? Yeah. We have Danny Dread calling in. Danny Dread!
You got man.
Where you going with, man?
Bless
I. Hey, listen, our mate going out to Draxall, man. The final, Phoenix lose the final against Content Garden. Big war broke out in the first half, man. With Phoenix players, them, man. Yeah, man, be a red card and thing. Makes a serious fight and thing, man. Game almost not done, man. Police have to intervene and everything there. Oh, up to Phoenix.
Why?
Yeah, man, it's a big war. Almost a 4 man get around 4 man get red card me a year, man, and be a yellow card and thing. Game pause for a very long time. Yeah, man.
Well, I did things on that Phoenix. I don't know if I not come home to roost or what.
Well, I mean, I know, I think them would have run away with the local division one thing, being in the final and thing, but them lose, so yeah. Because I was on my way out here, man, I say, war go on out there, you know.
Yeah. So we have a lot of Phoenix. So wait. Phoenix, beer Phoenix.
No, man, it's the same. It's the same, like, it's the same Phoenix, you know.
Yeah, but you know, so Phoenix are the younger one them without the beer.
No, no, man. What kind of younger one, man? Some of them man are from foreign too, man. Remember, so them lose out some points.
Beer Phoenix play down there.
The Veer part.
Phoenix.
No, man, but the Veer Phoenix gone, you know, Veer separate now and Phoenix, you know.
Oh, right.
Yeah. But
let's ask you this. Yeah, of course. Let's ask you this. So me like some Capital Maroon was for sale, but me not hear anything more affiliated about that.
No, the community purchase. I understand that the community kind of decided that they never want the person who had paid on some of the money. They didn't want that person to operate their club, so the community decided that they will control their club.
Wow, that's a news to me, but that sounds good still.
Yeah.
So they make like a committee and...
Yeah.
So like they bought it?
It is owned by them, like the owner put it in the community. I remember I said that Clarendon College down that side too. Yeah. They have some past students from Clarendon going to be involved in it and them things. So maybe, let's see. Yeah, because you know, sometimes some of the English clubs them as well. Still. Yeah, even some of the English clubs, I think they have like some sort of ownership structure that allows for, you know, like people within the community that they are to have some say in how the club is operated. Yeah, but what is the take on this issue, man? Because this is a big thing.
Wait, and the original owner, him live in the area.
Yeah, so the ownership, like Bam says, the Chapperton ownership remain intact. Yeah.
Yeah, so like that means the original man, like him with them can consult him on certain things and things like.
Yeah.
Not bad. Anyway, yeah, now to this. This thing, I kind of get confused along the way now.
Yeah.
I know that anytime we hear Mr. Speid talk, and then we hear the president talk, coming like we always get like a conflicting thing to me. No, yesterday this interview where I wonder if I hear some AI thing. But I don't know if people are the AI thing with Jamaica football. I know them beat the club football. So this Mr. the president interview so when we hear him describe Mr. Speid role.
Yeah.
It kind of different from this release when we hear with that I don't understand. When we hear the president his management is not an advisory role. It's a hands-on role when we hear president. Because if you going to be at the training, I deal with drills.
What?
You're going to be at the dressing room. You're going to be halftime talk.
What?
You're going to be on the sideline. I want AI something here.
Like the president said all of that he's going to be giving halftime talk and at the training sessions.
Yeah.
Me need to get that. I need to get that.
So I never dreamed last night.
I need to get that.
I know I wonder if
where did he say that? On Area FM? Because he was on Area FM on Monday.
You know, I said, tell you the truth. Area FM Monday. No, I'm not think of that.
Because all I'm saying, well, many people are saying that is what he said. So if that is what he said, the information in the press release and those statements are not the same, because the press release is talking about providing information on like opponents, more analytical stuff.
Right. So
Rob Simity saying that he talked about team selection halftime talk.
Yeah, team selection management is start number one. Right at the beginning process.
What was this on KLAS?
Me see KLS Power 106. But me see the player on YouTube.
Where? Me need to find it, man. Somebody just send me number and play it so the people can hear it, man.
It's a more one person player. I think Ryan did a play a piece last night too. But management kind of conflicting to me. No, I wonder. AI is that thing.
Oh, so somebody tell me say me have it somewhere, so me see if me can find it.
So yeah, come on, I like to really deal with it, and because one is an advisor role management, and one is the hand and the thing. Him not have no choice, because if me set up corner and do drill.
All right, let me see.
You understand?
Hold on, Danny Drill. Let me see if we can play this.
Me I'll go on.
Yeah, man, you can call in. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I found the clip, people. So let me play it. Tell me even a hearing it, Let me see if I can play this clip right here. All right, so here we go. All right, so let me see if I can I'm going to play it, so that everybody can hear what was said, and then we can match up what was said with what is in the I'm afraid that some of them are thinking, because them are people nowadays, a be a copyright business them go on with, Hey Dre, mind where you send me, because I don't want nobody copyright me thing, And some of them people are in Jamaica, hold on, them come around and say, because I'm not too. All right. I want them, me can't you know, say people me not think me I go play the thing, you know, cause let me see me can play it some other way, you know, because me just play the audio, you know, cause me not trust them. Me not trust them people over some place, you know, cause me I tell you, Simon, that's why me not put it up cause me not too in on them people, you know. Hold on the call. Let me see if I can play this. Let me see if I can play this. Hold on there. No, man, I have it, man. Me I go play it, people. Just hold on, give me a sec. We have it, we go play it.
But then a number of persons were saying at this time, we can't make such drastic changes. So we took the decision that we would keep him, give him some support, and hope that, and we would have had some discussions with some of the senior players as well. And they were supporting the coach, and we're intent on going to the World Cup.
So I don't know.
For the head of the coach. But then a number of persons were saying at this time, we can't make such drastic changes. So we took the decision that we would keep him, give him some support, and hope that, and we would have had some discussions with some of the senior players as well. And they were supporting the coach, and we're intent on going to the World Cup.
No, man, you heard that, people? Yes, there must be something else. Somebody has sent me.
These terms of reference. The coach thought that he wanted Speid to sit with him, assess the players, help him in terms of team selection, help him in terms of technical assessment, and of course, help with team preparation. So Speid will definitely be a part of the technical setup. I mean, they will sit together, they will probably select the team together, they will go through the training together, of course, in collaboration with other two assistant coaches, and of course, the physical trainer. But Speid's role is very much a very, very intense and technical support for his technical staff. So he will be around the team, he will have access to the locker room, he will discuss team selection, he will have a say at halftime, and certainly the coach and Rudolph and his other two assistants will be in charge of the entire technical program. So Speid will definitely be part of the team selection, discussing, because the truth is that Speid is current. Speid is doing his A license and is doing his pro license. So he's extremely current. So too, Whitmore and Peart and Maren Gordon are all doing their pro license. But when you look at Speid's success at the CFU level, you would have to give him the edge over there.
What can I say? So Simon. All right, so let me just say this, Simon. I understand what the people are saying, because on 3 occasions in that clip, it actually said that he will be doing team selection. Let me take this phone call. What? One umbrella, not no raincoat round ya. What?
No, the umbrella boss there, that is my little too smart. He said on the matter. But man is man. Let me ask, how week is Bermuda?
Huh?
Yeah?
I didn't hear that.
Week we had the game.
Yes.
The game against.
No,
right?
man, it's 3 weeks, man.
5 weeks.
Yeah, around 5 weeks. Yeah,
somewhere around
yeah.
All right. So this is my opinion, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of where we need the win in Bermuda and we need the win in Jamaica. Right? You not think we focus upon how we can get the win more than who are go coach and who are go this. This not going to change nothing. It's like we are major in the minor right now. While everybody else are focused on a win, we are focused on who and who. I don't know. As a man, we're in the organization. What you think?
Yeah, but I think also, like, I am confident that the players that we have, the game will be won. That is whether Mr. Speid is there or not there. The Gold Cup left a bitter taste in many people's mouth, but I still believe that the team, the composition of this team, is good enough, especially when you think about the other players, to qualify with or without Mr. Speid.
You know
why?
All
right. So what I'll say though, but we cannot, people are fans, and so part of it is that they have to get an opportunity to vent. What I want is that when you get to, like you said, it probably not going to change. So what do we do is to put our support behind the team, because this don't change my commitment to the team, but I also believe that we cannot dismiss people's concern. Like, don't talk about it. You know, forget about that. You know. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
As a journalist, yes, right. You have to talk about it. If people ask a question, but man, at the same time, you know. All right, so we go over in 10 cents and on paper, Bermuda is a better than 10 cents, and we were expecting to, but luckily we get a penalty by the game, right? So people will make a difference. We are expected to do. I think at the wrong statement, and I think as a man who is a leader and part of the organization, you should have more try. I talk to the people, man, try, you know what, people, what it is, we try uplift and try be the best 12 man and try reach at the World Cup more than this thing we are going now. If I go on for a week and we put a talk till it's blue, we can't change. So when, in my opinion, when the regular fans can't say them something, as a man who's a part of the organization, me think you should have like sing a different song. This is my opinion.
Yeah, so what song am I singing?
All right, so let me tell you, it's sometimes when you open your door to, it will come in, right?
So what I open my door, you have to explain to me, you know, because you're saying this song that I'm singing, because I have not given any position.
Like a while ago, you said if Mr. Speid with your yes or no.
Yeah, I believe that. So let me tell you this. No, but I will go further to say this. If the president stays or if the president leaves, if I leave tomorrow, I believe this team is good enough to still qualify if they put things together. If Coach McLaren leaves tomorrow, I still believe we have a good enough group of players to still qualify. However, the fans are the people who support the team. To say that we should not listen, we should not give them an opportunity is not the approach.
No, I'm saying you should listen to it, but at the same time, management. Sometimes you have to know how to put water and fire, and sometimes when you take a mutual standpoint things, you contribute to it more. So if so for example, you are my brother, right? And somebody comes say, I would think that you're part of the JFF, so there's a brother they love within the organization from everybody. And somebody comes and says, this man of the coach, this man of that. As a man who's a part of the organization, who's the team manager, you have to say, you know what, people, we have a right for no opinion, but let's focus on the win in Bermuda.
But that is clear. We have said that. I have said that.
No,
I have said that.
You seem to highlight the interview with them, and it just
No. I read the press release at the start of the program. There was a discussion with one of the persons who worked in the JFF, which is Simon. People are challenging Simon to say what the press release said, right? And what the president said were conflicting. So what I did is I just heard all of this, I never heard it before, Right? Yeah. So I played it. Simon then said, what comes out of the press release is what is official. So I just presented the two things. See, a next man say, you know what a next man said? Dread said this. So I'm going to give you an example. So while you're there saying that, maybe my approach is not probably the best approach. And next person is here saying that I am a long time here clean speed boot. So with all that I've said, this person is still saying what I have said so far. I'm a bootlicker. But I'm like no,
let me comment on that man the way I say me a clean speed boot.
No, he's saying that I am. No, he's saying that I am doing that.
You are okay. But man, let me tell you something. There's a thing when you kill things in a bud, and make we focus on the bigger picture, right? And the bigger picture, World Cup we won.
Yeah.
So something, to me, in my honest opinion, there are just things in the way, and we are turned. We are. It's like an internal thing, and we are turned against one another. We're opinion, and the win we want.
No,
so
man. But I always start my program encouraging people. Peso spoke. He had one perspective, which is similar to yours. I never argued with him. Miguel spoke. I never did. Danny Dredd never made anything. So it is in the comment section where people have a right to. All I'm saying is that, and I mean, from last week I said this, if there was anybody in Jamaica who could do this, it would be Rudolph Speid. The question is, and it's not about competence or quality. Again, it's about the conflict of interest and the repercussions thereof. Peso said that when those things come up, we can talk about it.
Yeah. Exactly.
If them come up. All right, but I have a next caller, so big up yourself, one umbrella.
Man.
Yeah, Yeah, man.
No, Mr. Art, I love, respect.
Yeah, man. All right. Peso said that when those things come up, we can talk about. All right. Yeah. Welcome to the show. All right, but I have a next caller, so big up. Bam.
Yeah, hello?
Caller, yeah, listen to the... Welcome to the show.
No, not doing that. Yeah, good afternoon, mornings. Good afternoon to your listeners.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, what I was saying, morning, which I was saying to Simon is, as I heard the president's interview, and Mr. Speid was also on Omega Radio, KLS.
Yes.
Yesterday, and so I listened to both of those interviews. And what the press release said have nothing to do with what the two people them say about. So me not understand. Me not quite understand the point that Simon was making, because people were telling him about the interviews and he must say them to go check the press release. When the press release were on money, to be honest, I just think the press release there is much ado about nothing. It's a whole lot of words saying nothing really. Because from my perspective, Mannings, if it is that the Federation was just seeking out Speid for his advice in terms of opposition research and what else into the press release? Opposition research and something else. They didn't need to appoint him as a technical advisor. And I think what the president said is what his role is going to be. And he even alluded to the fact on Omega Radio that he will play an integral role in all areas relating to the World Cup qualifying thing coming up. He said that he and the coach will have discussions. And he wasn't just centered around team selection. It's that he and the coach will have discussions about preparation,
training
traveling
sessions.
to the games,
Yeah. Training
sessions, and allow the players to get the best. The best. Be put in a situation that the players can get the best performance. Him talk about being there early, allowing the players to get proper rest and all them stuff there. And he was basically talking about the whole planning and preparation of the team going into the game. Now, whether or not he will go on the field and run training sessions, I guess that's yet to be seen. But I mean, and the president did also say, and also being the role of technical advisor, why would he not be in the changing room? Like, why would he not be around the team? Like, what Simon has said at press release, that no make sense, brother. Like, we know people not dumb, bridging. Like, we don't understand. And the president went at pains to ensure to say that the whole World Cup fate, or whatever you call it, is dependent on Mr. Speid, McLaren, and the two assistants. And Mr. Speid also said that they were trying to get another assistant coach, which they are probably so I guess it'll be 5 of them. So I don't know what Simon, I'm not saying people are dumb. You are acting as if we are dumb, bro. when you are telling us that you are saying to us that the official communication from the JFF is in the press release. Bro, the president was on the TV 2 days before your press release, telling people what is going to happen. So it's clear that you didn't listen to the press release for you to come now and tell us that so you are telling us that we should not listen to anything that Mr. Speid or the president said in their interviews. We must go and read the press release, which came out 2 days after they have said what they said, and the appointment was made like 3 days ago, bro. Like, that doesn't make no sense, Simon. Like, bro, with the greatest of our respect, what you said,
he said, let me read it, because he said that you should read the comment before. He says, press releases are official communication from the Federation, which is overseen by the General Secretary and
man, how foolish is that? Big man, I don't do that. Oh, man. You are telling me, sir. Tomorrow morning, Andrew will come out and say, yo, Jamaica, the World Cup, holiday. And then, what's your name? What the first person? What's your name? Robert Morgan.
Yeah.
Robert Morgan, I'll come now and say, say, we not, but I'm holiday, you can't get half the work. If man, I rubbish time on that, brother. Big man, the president of the federation oversee everything. Anything the president said, Allah, that brother. That Allah. So Simon, when you ask to me, boss, you don't make sense, brother. Unless you're going to tell me, say, the president misspoke. And man is man. Me, I personally do not believe that the president, Simon, the president was in the board meeting. You were not in the board meeting, bro. So the president must know what the board voted on and what they decided on. And Mr. Speid is a part of the board too. And he's the one that is getting the role, bro. Why would Mr. Speid get a role and don't know what the role is about, bro? That is not my opinion, that's the truth. The person who got the role told the people what his job is going to entail. And then you are telling me that
Mr. Speid also spoke on it on the KLSA show as well.
Yes, to be honest, all right, so what Mr. Speid said is that he's going to be involved in the entire preparation process of the upcoming World Cup qualifier. So him and the coach will have discussions about various things to include preparation, and that's when he went on to talk about the team travel and the chartered flight. He also mentioned on the program that they will have discussions about when the squad should be released. Like he was saying, they were trying to find out when is the most appropriate time, whether it should be the middle of August or it should be closer to the gate. They were talking about all of that. So Simon can't come tell me no about his main role is going to be opposition scouting, bro. That's not it, bro. That's not it, bro. So Simon, clearly the communication never so accurate between everybody. But what the president said, what the person who has the role said, and what you are saying, they are not the same, bro. And you can't be so defensive to tell people, say, yo, the president even went on to say, yo, he talked to me to Steve McCart in person, and talked to him over the phone, and even Speid himself on the program said that McCart is not the only coach who would have asked him to like be a part of being this role or in this capacity. Yeah. And he always say, yo, you know want to be a part, you know want to be a squad, you know want to nothing better.
A.M. Henry is saying that if you say that he's a technical advisor, the press release is saying the same thing. That's what she's saying. What she's saying is that technical advisor would mean in every aspect of the team. So she's saying that the press release says that, which is saying the same thing as what the president is saying.
Mine's.
No, that's what A.M. Henry is saying, you know. A.M. Henry saying the fact that they use that term on advisor, she's saying that would technically mean, you understand what I'm saying? She's saying that technically,
yes, but the person in the comment was saying that he would be involved in like coaching and training sessions and stuff. And Simon
was saying like,
he
was
saying, and I'm saying the president said that Mr. Speid will have access to the changing room, and he basically said, I'm paraphrasing now, that the technical or tactical know-how of the team will be dependent on Speid, McLaren, and the two assistants, which I'm assuming is Meron and Sinclair. That's what he said.
Okay.
So but Simon is saying, so what Simon basically was saying, and he went on to say that the information in the press release is official, which is suggesting that what the president said is not official.
Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah,
that's all I'm saying, man. Yeah. I'm just saying that the president said something, Mr. Speid, who got the role, also said, he didn't say the same thing as the president, but they are almost dissimilar, really. And I said the press release, really and truly, I think it aligned with what the two gentlemen said. And I submit to you that the two gentlemen, one of whom got the role, and the other person who was in the board meeting, they must know what them sign up for.
Yeah.
So I think that press release is kind of strange, but it is what it is. Like, you're in idea.
All right. But in terms of it, of the role, do you have any take on? Do you have any?
Travis.
Boss.
Who was talking? No, Travis. Who was talking about removing Speid, Travis? Travis, nobody was talking about that, bro. What are you talking about, brother? Man, what's the question? What's the question? What's the question?
Bob, I mean, what is your take on the appointment itself?
Management. So from my perspective, I think that the appointment, and I don't care how they want put it, but I think the appointment is an admission that the federation thinks that they are not comfortable or confident in the team's ability to qualify for the World Cup in its current state, and so they think that enlisting someone of Mr. Speid's caliber is important to help or to cover all grounds to ensure that they don't miss out on this World Cup qualification cycle. Because if it is that they were comfortable, let's be safe. If you're comfortable with how something is going, you don't really make changes to it. Like if it's not broken, don't fix it. Yeah. So, I mean, all right. When we went to the Unity Cup, we didn't add any staff because everybody thought that we did well at Unity Cup. But we went to the Gold Cup, we didn't perform as well as we should have.
But
we missed the second round.
Mr. Speid was at the Unity Cup, and he would have given technical advice or shared, had technical discussions. Let me say, I would have had technical discussion with the coach. So I don't know if it is coming out of that this idea was birthed.
Yes, I'm saying there must have been something that triggered this action, and I think I'm going to talk about monies. The president said that this decision came out of the fact that they had a poor run in the Gold Cup. That's what he said.
So it's more more panic.
I don't know if I don't know if I want to call it panic or maybe an abundance of caution. But okay. I'm sure if we went to the Gold Cup, I went to the semi-final or the final, there would be the need. There would be the need. So I'm saying the federation think that everything is not going according to plan, and this is a grand opportunity to make it to the World Cup. $9 million US. World Cup are keeping account in our region. No, but them no miss out on it. So they are putting everything that they think they need to put in place to make sure so them get to the World Cup.
Okay, that's a good perspective.
Yeah, and as it relates to the like me say, money, you see, in Jamaican football, like you will always, okay, Simon, thanks, 12 million, perfect. Maybe you need 2 advisors now. Yeah, I was just joking. No, there was Simon to me. So, only after money is, as it relates to the whole idea of the conflict, like nobody can deny. I think even Mr. Speid himself has not denied that people in general who work in the JFF or part of the federation in certain capacities there is the ability for them to be conflicted because just the whole nature of the JFF, you have to work or you have to be a part of a club or a part association to be a part of the JFF. Nobody cannot deny that.
Yeah.
What I think should happen, or what I think, I don't know if it exists, but I heard the JFF have a conflict register or whatever, I don't know what that entails. But once there is evidence that the conflict is being acted upon, then the federation should have some policy to address it. I think based on how Jamaican football is, that's the only way. All right, so for example, management, in your situation now, you are the team manager, and let's say you own a club or you operate an academy or something like that. Then, is it that big, and you work in the federation strictly from a voluntary perspective, really, similar to what Mr. Speid and maybe some of the other people on the board do. So you're saying if you get a chance to be, if you are in a voluntary position in the JFF, you must just give up all your football business. Like nobody knows that.
Yeah.
No, that's not money, but that's not happening for sure. It never happen. So what I say is there just needs to be policy in place that once it can be proven that the conflict is being acted upon, then the federation will off it up. That's the only way I think it can happen. Otherwise, you'll get people who are not involved in football to run it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's what's it.
Yeah. All right, we have an next caller, Bam. So good perspective.
Yeah, man, blessed up time, man.
Yeah, man. All right, cool.
Bless up.
All right, call. A long time we are calling. We don't call you, but I had Bam on the phone. Welcome to the show, Southie. Hello, caller. Now I hear the caller. Oh, go on. Hold on, let me see if I can. I don't know what's going on. Oh, yes or no? Yes, caller.
Hold on. Let me take you off the speaker, car speaker.
Yeah, man, we're hearing you now.
Oh, you're hearing me. All right. Good evening, man. Master man.
Long time.
Long time, you know. Yeah, that listen all the way.
Yeah, man. What say you?
Hold on, man. I'll make sure this thing out.
We are hearing you, you know. You want me to call you back on the other phone that I think you're calling?
No. I can't hear you, man. What happened now? I didn't want to call you a long time, so I put my head home, so I pull off of the road and I try call you, but the previous caller was on for a while, so I start drive again. So that's the thing. So yeah, Mr. Because a thunderstorm coming in New York right now. I mean, I try to make it home before it comes down.
Whoa.
Well, anyway, you know my beat Simon and but said that press release though said nothing different from where the president said.
Which is what A.M. Henry is saying. The lady is saying that. Really actually, but the press release is different.
The press release don't say anything different. When the press release say Speid is going to some collect like data analysis on opponents.
Yes.
And then it goes on to say as well as provide technical insight.
Yes.
So what is the technical insight? It could be all the things that the president said he was going to do.
Which would mean like he could be saying like, boy, this player would be best suited for this game.
It could be this, it could be tactics, it can be all kind of something. It's just a technical insight. So it's the very same thing what the president say. He just cloak it up in some nicer words. He don't say nothing different from what the president said.
Yeah. Come to think of it, because like I said, technical advice could cover a wide range of things. Because like I said, he could be saying, all right, you're playing against Curacao, for example, I think you should select this player because he's better in defense and his height will help.
Yeah, so that's what I say. It's basically that is where I'm saying provide another something data or something on opponents. I was reading it, but then it goes on to say as well as technical insight, and that are the part where are the same thing the president now say. Yeah, other things where technical insight can be all kind of stuff. So that is where them Simon write the thing in our way where him put that part away the president say under that technical insight thing there. So I don't think it's different.
Yeah, but
I don't think it's different.
The point I was making, like this idea that people are not supposed to say anything and just go and focus on the game. That is not how...
No. I heard that caller there and me I say it look like him can walk and chew gum at the same time. I don't know if the thing is in the news. If the thing is in the news, it's on radio, it's on TV, it's on websites and stuff. Why wouldn't people discuss it? How is that going to stop us from preparing for the World Cup game? I don't know. Enough to talk about nothing else except the game we're going to play and walk up. All that going to stop us from play some ball. I mean, it's just a topic that is a current topic. And
it's a real issue because it has implications. Yeah. Like I'm saying that sometimes, so whether or not, like the coach chooses to select a player or not, it could really come back to Speid. You understand?
Yeah, it's a convoluted. To me, it's convoluted because I don't know. Speid. What if Speid don't follow? What if the coach follow Speid advice, and then next thing you know, we lose all 2 games? What is going to happen? Is Speid the head of the technical committee then going to remove the coach?
Which is what that's what I was asking Peso earlier. So if you're going to tell me,
I mean. Yeah, that man for stay in our comments, am I right, man? That better feel. Because I have a pet peeve with that where as soon as everybody follow Jamaica football, everybody like Jamaica football, everybody have opinion. But there are a certain set of people like that same Peso guy that try to turn this thing into some Jamaicans overseas and who they are Jamaican and all them things. You know what I mean? Like, the people them when here have a problem with Speid are people in the diaspora. That's a lie.
No, man, a lot of people in Jamaica have a problem.
Okay, because I listen to 2 radio shows, them, I hear people in Jamaica again. But them always try to change this thing into I try to create some division about people who live overseas and all them Polish say. That's a lie, man. It's a lie, man. If you want bootleg Speid, just bootleg Speid and allow the Jamaicans overseas to voice about opinion that. I mean, we have our opinion too, because we go game. We go with game. We'll spend money. We travel. As a matter of fact, it costs us more to go to a game than it costs money in my yard. Because you have to travel far at distance and them things. I have to pay more for going to the stadium. But drive 8 hours already go at Jamaica play football now.
Yeah, and people say, 8 hours.
So when it's a Pesto, go tell me.
Make Pesto know that 8 hours in the state, you know, is probably around Jamaica several times, you know, because remember, 8 hours in the state is wholly because of highway, you know. And like you go around a corner. So you have to understand that.
I go away, you know, I go to Columbus a while. So when if me have an opinion and I don't like what I go on, because I live in foreign, I become a supporter, I don't like what I go on. I become me will fly cross country from New York to Los Angeles, go watch Jamaica play. Me have an opinion for give. What does that mean about living in because you live in foreign? You're a supporter like everybody else. Stop your foolishness, Peso, or where you want name. You know I'm the right to an opinion more than anybody else. Everybody have opinion. Everybody have follow Jamaica team. See, it's convoluted and everybody agree with the thing.
Yeah, because
it's convoluted.
It's part of what I'm saying, because even this court case, because somebody just brought it up, that there's a court case between, I think, Speid and Butler about conflict of interest. So I am thinking like, these things, I don't know how the court system works, but I'm thinking like something like this could be presented. And I'm just saying, you know, if there, God forbid that there's a Phoenix player associated with Butler, who all of a sudden don't get picked in the September, you hear this big conversation again that it is because of Mr. Speid. And maybe it has nothing to do with him, you know. But now you're in a position where automatically, if a substitution is made and a youth from Cavaliers goes on and say, if King goes on, it automatically comes back to you. If King gets selected, it comes back to you. And maybe it's unfair, but it's a position that you're in. So I think it could create a lot of unnecessary argument around where players are concerned and other people that may not be it may not have been necessary, because I think it could have still been done without anything being said. Because if it is just like advisory,
you're right. But I think, it could have been done without it. Like, you cannot do it, and nobody knows how you do it.
Yes, because you could turn up at a game and sit in the stands and still give advice or something and still go down. And unless a person is there and asks questions, nobody would know.
All right, but me have my own opinion on that now. My opinion is that it needs to be known. Because to me, personally, it's like everybody said it, this World Cup here is so easy for Jamaica. It is so easy. It is so easy that you have foregone conclusion that people want it on their resume.
Here you go, boss. That is my thing. That is my thing. My thing. At the end of the day,
people want it on their resume.
Yes. At the end of the day, like there's no. It's just like if Tapper is given a post, probably Tapper will take it. Why? Because
it's a resume builder. And maybe you can use it. One day you coach a MLS franchise.
And that's what I was saying to the caller earlier. That with or without, I think the composition of the team, with or without Mr. Speid, can still qualify. And so that is because of the opponent we're facing. And I'm not underestimating them, but that is a reality.
To me, honestly, let me tell you this, honestly. Oh, it look to me. The thing them, all right, if everything what I say about the coach, right? And as I said, this coach, right? Mr. Speid himself, say when them hire the coach, he was talking so big about the coach, for radio, Like this are the cream of the crap. Mr. Speid take responsibility for be the man. We said this, them God, and then talk to some couple people and them add how much people apply for the position. And he make the decision and say, yo, this man are the best, this man are the cream of the crap, like are the best out of all who put in for the job. They make a thorough examination of everybody, and this man are me hear him say them thing they pan radio, and he must proud of that. So if the man now live up to what you say, Mr. Speid will take responsibility for hire him, Fire the man, right? So if Speid want to be the coach, just fire the man and go be the coach, right? Because to me, man, this man is unless this man get lost in a football and the football leave him behind, so he don't know what go on again. But me can't understand a man who he was Sir Alex Ferguson assistant, and them say he used to take enough for the training, because Sir Alex Ferguson, them say he's really a manager, and then the coaches do the training.
Yeah, man, right? He's a very good. Listen, I've seen him I've seen him up front, personal. So he's a very good coach.
Yeah. Yes. So let me say, this is not like Manu was stink now, This is Manu when Manu a kick up from person at the middle of the 2000 decade there. You know what I mean? Good Manu. And him are the head assistant coach to Alex Ferguson. Then him go and coach England. Some people say him coach England because at the time, what's that name? When Goran something like that.
Ericsson, yeah.
Yeah, England, the English people, them did say them forget an English coach. That they must say, I saw him get the job, and then they fail for go Euro. But him get England coach job, right? Then coach, one time they coach Middlesbrough, and Middlesbrough go a UEFA Cup final and lose. Forget how we beat them, but them they lose. Then him they coach in Holland, and him win the Dutch league, and him coach QPR,
Him coach
so
Derby,
this man
coach Derby County as well.
Derby County, right?
Derby County.
So this man a coach about the place, He win the Dutch league, Like my big manager at Liverpool, Arne Slot, He win the Dutch league, Him coaching our games against Murray, Rafa Benitez, Arsene Wenger. Them man them come up against in a football game, in a coaching, And then that man with all of that come to Jamaica, go make Rudolph Speid go coach a Bush League. So I go advise him how for doing that game. So me I say, this man I must forget everything when he didn't know about football. Because Speid, as much as people that talk about Speid are the greatest ever coach that Jamaica win, what means about Speid is that people that talk about paper qualification. And he win Bush League with Cavaliers, right? He win a couple years. But to me watch Cavaliers, and to me, they are terrible. I don't like watch them. I think they're one of the most boring teams in the league. When I turn on my TV and watch them game, I think they're very boring. And I think them win. Them win the roll of the dice with the penalty shootout that can go anywhere. But at the end of the day, they win still. But they're very boring, not an excited team or
but
whatever.
Simon is just reminding us, which is true, that he won a CONCACAF tournament. The CONCACAF
Well, me never watch them game there still, but me I talk about the style of play with them have and stuff. To me, them boring and stuff. You know what I mean? They don't excite nothing, you know what I mean, still. But anyway, I say, how this man take... So I think if the man is not doing the job, I want to say, just fire the man.
Yeah, I think the president said that though. The president said that in the thing that he said, he kind of said that removing the coach would not be an option, just given that you understand me? So it's basically like what is the next best option?
So the next best option is to bring in somebody come. So the purpose of the coach there now is to make players happy. Just that. That's what I'm say. So the purpose of Steve McLaren is to make players happy. And then maybe him now do nothing else then. And maybe, but you think the players them now, these are grown men, you know. These are adults. You think them around the team. If Speid come in the team and giving speech in halftime in the locker room and preparing tactics and coming to training and doing stuff in training, the players them not recognize all of that. Whether McLaren want to be there or all of that, the players them not recognize all of that and say, oh, what is happening here? Blah, 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 and them say all of that. They must see all of that and they must know if a foolishness or them not like it or what, whether it's McLaren there or not. So them shall just fire the man and just make Speid take the job. Them shall fire the man and make...
You really think so? Huh? I don't think that's gonna work, boss.
So it's a halfway thing. So to me now the conclusion is, the thing is, they give Speid the job, but not directly, because they want the players to be happy. So them keep the coach there to make the players happy that the coach is there. That's all it seemed like to me. But me think them should just fire a coach, send him back to England and keep the and make Speid go die from female and sword. So if we don't make it, suppose we don't make it to the World Cup, who gets to blame?
What I was saying earlier is, if the team qualifies, then obviously Speid, Mero, and everybody get praise. But if the team loses games, then everything goes back to McLaren. This is what I'm saying.
That's why I say fire the coach and make Speid take the job. And whatever the outcome, then him can take stand up and take the responsibility. If him the coach and we not make it, then it come down on him. If him the coach and we make it, then him get the praise. But all it look like now, him all right. He's all right. It's just going to be if we don't make it, then he's just an advisor. And then if we make it, then it can be, we make it because Speid come in and advise. This is not true. Where do you still? Me still have a what?
Me say get a big Newcastle striker, boy.
No, we're not getting him yet, you know. But we soon get, man. We're not getting him yet. We don't know. We don't know, because, you know, it never over till it's over, you know. So.
I think they're going to wait until the ending of the window, because I think on the second game against them, you know, so I don't think they're going to let him.
You know, I was thinking the same thing, that maybe them not going to make him move until we play them.
Yeah, like...
I think we play them like the
second week.
23rd. The 23rd, yeah. So maybe not going to move till then. Plus, them will try to get some striker. Look like them can't get nobody up there, you know. Everybody.
Yeah, because we were trying to get the Union Seska, but it looked like him will go
And the sporting director, somebody did resign just at the end of last season. Them not have no sport. Them not have nobody in place really. I want for foolishness are going up there. So every player them try to get them not get. I see them was trying to get the Seska youth. I'm here look like a Manu.
Him a go, yeah. Manu come in on it. Them try to get Hollywood. Them probably are going to end up by Gabriel Jesus from Arsenal still.
Well, I mean, I know what them do, but every player them try to get them lose it. Them get Ilanga. Them get Ilanga from Nottingham Forest. I only player that them get. Everybody else them try get turn them down. Everybody. So nobody know how to go up there. Cause them say they're far up in the top of England, you know. But we need them to get one forward fast. Them a try get the youth Wissa from Brentford.
But he might go Saudi. He might go Saudi, man. He might get a big,
when them say that?
Him get a big deal to go on at the Saudi club them.
Today?
Yeah, man.
Because last thing here is that he might try to go he might try to get out to go to Newcastle. So I don't know.
Get a big. So let's see how that will work.
They look like Newcastle now get nobody, so them not gonna go Isak until them get somebody else.
Yeah.
Them have to make it look good to the fans, you know. Them can't just let him go and not nobody. The fans are getting mad and stuff. But I guess he will come, you know. And can start line up some trophy and thing. You know what
I mean? All right, boss. Best of it.
I'm feeling pretty good this season.
Yeah, man,
I watched the game this morning.
Yeah, man, and have a good look aside around here. Me think when Arsenal get Eze, it'll be a good look Premier League season. But them need to get the youth name Eze from Crystal Palace. We need one more buy and that is it.
Yeah. You hear me hear some people talk about how easy it is to qualify for this World Cup. Me hear man all say them could have coach aside and win this World Cup. So I make this World Cup, which them are underrate the other man them team.
Yep.
I mean also Curacao is a team where them are recruit heavily, you know, them are recruit out of Holland heavily, and what we see in the Gold Cup and them final team, them still are trying to get people. So this underrating thing where them attack like say, oh, Jamaica play Bermuda, Curacao, and Trinidad. So it's set in stone. It's a joke still, but we watch a game now and see how it goes still.
Yeah, man.
But that's fire the coach, right? But it not happen still, but that would be my thing. So the coach should I get fire. Since we not say him so bad, fire the coach and make Speed go take the thing, and then Speed stand up like a man, and if the team not take them, make the thing him take the blame. And Speed is involved in too many things. 24 hours in a day, and him is a one man. As much as him a go on, and as much as him say him smart and him bright and him thing, he's still just one man. He's in too many things, and nothing can go so. But him to coach a team, which eventually I think is what will happen.
All right.
And I also I'm willing to bet one little 100 USA. Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Before the end of the qualifying game, that will be it.
All right. Blessed up enough. We'll take the next one.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So people, here it working is when I'm on the phone. If you're calling, I'll get you, because I have somebody else on the phone. So here's one of them. Wait until the call is finished. We have multiple lines. We have a radio station. You understand me? We have a radio station. You understand? Oh, this is Danny Dread. Quickly, Danny Dread, because we'll give you 5 more minutes.
Yeah. So in the end, I wasn't dreaming, right?
Yeah.
I heard it. All right. What I really want to know, man.
Yeah.
Every time Mr. Speed and the president talk, like the same day, and an issue, we confused. You notice it? Question time.
Yeah? If we notice it, we never really notice still, but let us say me. I need to take notice. I have not been taking notice still. Yeah.
Anyway, no Simon come. And Simon nearly want to make a third thing. You see me? No MF and Coach a while ago explain to it the technical part. Mean the same thing like what President said. Why Simon never make a note of the same thing? So that means me right. Mr. Speed will be hands on, not only advice preaching. He will be hands on. Tell me if me wrong.
No, what I will say is that technical advising doesn't mean it means your hands are on the thing, but your hand may not be physically touching it. So you don't have to be physically, but you have influence.
Management, if me at the training session running drill, what am I doing?
If you do it, yeah, but if that happened, that means that you're physically involved. But you could also give somebody...
the president said that, so it's hands on. Here what the president say again. This one make me laugh. That one really make me laugh. Like me laugh. A good little time after. The president said, give my own words.
Go ahead, yeah, man. In your own words. Don't, you know.
Him say the coach is a dinosaur.
No, but you can't. The president never said that, man. You can't say the president said.
All right. Let me tell you the president word. That was my word.
Yeah, that is it. You can't do that.
That was my word. You want to hear the president word now?
That is it. As a Calabar, man, you can't do that.
Wait, hear the president word. Let me give you the president word. Mr. Speid is doing his pro license. He's up to date. And this coach, you understand me? This coach is presently doing his pro license. He's up to date. What is that telling me about McLaren? As a coach coming from the 90s. Where a statement like that in human as a management now.
What does that mean?
What a statement there. One part of statement there. Mr. Speid is a more modern coach.
Who said that? Who said that?
License. The president
said that he's a more current coach.
That is a more modern coach.
He's a more modern coach in comparison to who? Daniel, I think sometimes here's the problem we have with
it. It's in comparison to Mr. McLaren where we have, man, not the two man the man at all.
No, man, the man never said that, Danny Dread, man. The man never said that.
Man, go listen about the thing good. Because you just play it for we. Go listen it good and meditate on the thing when you do.
Okay, but
you understand me?
Okay, all right.
The man said Mr. Speid is a young, modern coach.
No, he said that.
That is telling me something about McLaren.
No.
Why it would be telling me something about Pep Guardiola?
No, what I'm saying to you is that you are extrapolating things from what the...
Exactly, because we have sense and we have a brain.
That is driving like I said that I make it so like to me have no sense and no brain.
You have to. And you know if you go meditate, you come up with the same thing. Because that is a relative statement.
You make a
have to be modern, relative.
Right,
management, 1 minute. It has to be modern. Wait, no, 1 minute, modern. It has to be modern relative to something. What is the something when modern relatively to now?
So,
that must be some McLaren.
That is, but all I'm saying to you, Danny Dread, is that is your conclusion of, but you cannot say that is what he said because he never said that. That's all I'm saying to you, you know.
When you listen to it, you will get it. Because the man will give you reasons why we need this man and this other man alone cannot manage.
All right. No, man. You and I agree on those things. But what we cannot do is say the person said something that we are making inference or drawing conclusion. That's two different things.
Yeah. We never quote him.
What all I'm saying to you is that we are making this a quote from him. He never said that.
No, I was making a quote.
Right. So what I am saying that we can infer from that he's making a comparison with two persons. So to say that he said that Speid is a more current coach than Steve McLaren, he never said that. No, but we can infer from what he said that is what he could be saying or what he meant. But we can't say that. Come on, Danny, you know that better, man. You know better than that.
Man, tomorrow You come with a different meaning of that statement when I make it make sense to me.
No,
all right?
yes, all I'm saying, no man, all I'm saying, Danny Dread, people, all I'm saying is that people do it to me a lot of times. They draw a conclusion.
And sometimes they do it wrongfully.
Right. We draw a conclusion and then we said, we are quoting the person. We're not quoting the person.
No.
But obviously we can say this is what the person means.
No, I told you I wasn't quoting him from the beginning.
Yeah. I just got more and clarify.
Yeah,
because see, I make all MF
you can't get nothing else out of that statement. All
MF beat me, you know. All MF beat me, so me conflicted. I don't know why. But big up yourself.
Yeah, but I know some people say so, but I honestly know say that is a relative statement and it must be relative to something.
Yeah.
And what relative to, in my case, a Steve McLaren. If you can come up with something else and make it like me willing to change.
All right, big up yourself. Yeah, man. All right. That's Danny Dread. We have one of the guests. One of our guests has joined the show. Lord have mercy. I want to call. You know him very well. None other than Mr. Kerry James, because we're going to segue and talk about and don't watch those goals you see him scoring on Instagram and thing. They are AI generated. First, you can't score for the left foot. You understand me? Yeah. All right, this person lose the opportunity to talk, because all right, and then we're gonna get to Kerry because I man is a football federation under dictatorship. Yes. Good afternoon. Good evening. Welcome to the show. Your 5 minutes.
Evening,
you know your 5 minutes begin right now, uninterrupted, because we have.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yeah.
You know what say? Mr. Speed appointed to the national team. When most of these guys talk about conflicts of interest, that is not what they are worrying about.
Huh?
These guys thinking that the national team is more like a Jamaica national team than Mr. Speed getting involved.
Huh? Hold on. I'm not understanding what you're saying. You have to go a little.
What these guys worrying about, this YouTuber, most of them, and if they have to pay for them are worried about no more. They have to play now, make his side, or then dream now come to the world 23-man side is diaspora. Them think that Mr. Speed will come and change that.
Really?
Right?
You think that is what they're worried about?
Trust me, I listen to them, and all them talk about conflict of interest. That is what them are worried about, man. You get me? None of them wouldn't mind if no player from Jamaica don't the national team.
You sound like a peso. Now, man. How the conversation reach there, sir? But I don't hear any of that. All I'm saying is that I'm not hearing any of that. Where this? Yeah.
Guess what? I've been watching all these YouTube programs from here that Mr. Speed go see the go work with foot authorities, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the impression I get from them is everybody have them hidden agenda with the national team. Right? Mr. Speed as a good coach, or Miguel Coley, who would have liked to join in and coach national team. They might try put it from all longer, but none of them just hide from the truth. They're worrying about they have to play them now, get to go into the side and all type of stuff.
That is it?
Yeah, that is it.
Carl, I mean, I agree with you still, but that is it.
That is it.
I don't know where you're hearing that.
I said my piece. Everybody said to them piece. Yeah. Me said my piece. I'm God.
All right, big up yourself.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Bless up, Carla. All right, Kerry. So we have one more, because I know the people long to hear just your perspective on this whole issue. So I know you're taking notes. But
taking notes on goal scoring.
Hello?
Oh. So we have CC. CC, your 5 minutes uninterrupted begins right now. Go ahead. Welcome to the show.
So yeah, all comes on me go and get 5 minutes. There are some people in my car, me and them just on a soliloquy.
What?
A cat me at 5 minutes.
What they were on?
A soliloquy.
Okay.
They introduce 5 minutes as my car, eh? My gosh. Well, anyway, something there. What I want to know, management, right, is why is it that the position, like me and them say them about an assistant coach, but may I say, why is it that the position of technical advisor is an unpaid position?
First thing, do you know of any technical advisor anywhere in international football?
Yeah, Jordi Cruyff at Indonesia, the Indonesia national team. Jordi Cruyff is the son of Johan Cruyff.
Yeah.
When Winfred Schaefer first went down to Ghana, that was his position, technical advisor. Before he become a technical director of football now.
Mm-hmm.
But he went as in a technical advisor.
Yeah. So we know of two persons, right? One moved to technical. So you're saying that Mr. Speid should be paid?
I'm saying if we're going to bring in an expert, right? And that we are going to ask that person to give up their expert advice. I think it should be a paid role. And the reason why I think it should be a paid role is this. When you offer a paid role, it opens up the options. When you bring out a free role, it just limits your options. So the only person possibly could take up the offer is probably Mr. Speid, because he might not need the money for some reason, because he's in a voluntary position as the chairman of the technical committee. Now he's in a voluntary position as technical advisor. And he owns a club, so maybe because of his business ventures, he doesn't really need the money. But I think when you have a situation like that, it becomes you're limited to certain people only. It is not open to other persons who probably could have taken on the position full time had you present a salary in the for the position. So even if there was other persons who were qualified to operate in that capacity, then they would have not had the opportunity to embark on that opportunity, because they might not be able to take it on without pay.
Okay, I see what you mean. So you're saying that if it was a paid position, then more people would have applied for the job?
Well, I don't think there's no application, but I'm just saying there was no application. But in terms of like when we are coming with certain technical roles, in terms of
so what I want to ask is that unseen asking you a question is because I think he's saying that because they didn't have enough money to pay the assistant that should have been there that was not there. So how would they find money to pay a technical advisor and then still get an assistant?
Then that means that they don't need a technical advisor, get an assistant.
So, okay, so you're saying, no, but they couldn't pay the assistant.
But they're saying they're still looking for an assistant again.
Yeah, maybe to receive less money. I don't know. But I am saying that if the person wants to do the job free, right? Because if they do a good job, it could add to their resume. Isn't that a benefit?
Yes, it's a benefit, but I think the thing about it, for instance, to say the person who is the chairman of the technical committee is basically that when the emergency meeting was held after the Gold Cup, who organized that meeting? I'm assuming it is the chairman, is the technical committee.
There was an emergency meeting?
That's what they said. They was going to have an emergency meeting post the Gold Cup because of what happened at the Gold Cup.
Oh,
that's what was said.
So there was one you said after it was held.
So I was saying if a meeting like that is going to be held, it has to come down to the technical committee because they are the one who are evaluating the performance of the coaching staff, right?
Yeah. I guess if there's it would be an assessment of the entire Gold Cup from players to staff, technical, administrative staff, all of that.
Technical, and that would fall to the
technical committee, yes.
So coming out of that, the recommendation is that Mr.
Assuming
McCarry
that
needs,
there was a meeting.
assuming that there was a meeting,
yes,
coming out of that meeting, then that would mean, if there was a meeting, coming out of that meeting, that would mean the recommendation was that Mr. McCarry needs an assistant and he also needs a technical advisor. When the part of technical advisor comes down, based off after that meeting, assuming that there was a meeting, the person being recommended as the technical advisor is also the person who would have chaired the technical committee in terms of evaluating the performance of the previous competition, if there was a meeting. So if the person name comes up, why is it that it wouldn't be said? You have to step, in order to facilitate your position in this role, a technical advisor, you would have to step away from being the chairman of the technical committee.
Very good question. That is what. But that don't have nothing to do with money, though.
No, I was saying, but no, I don't say that. No, that doesn't have anything to do with
I thought you were because
part.
it. Oh, separate point. Okay.
Separate part, man. My first point still stands that I think certain positions should be paid because it opens up your ability to acquire the best people. Just like when the government said they will increase public sector salary because it allows them to recruit the very best people to come into the policy making. But when they had low salaries, a lot of people weren't going in it. So that's what I was talking about. But the separate point now is if there was a meeting, assuming there was a meeting, coming out of that meeting, if the advice is to say the chairman of the technical committee seems like the most suitable candidate to be the technical advisor, then isn't there somebody that is suitable to replace the chairman of the technical committee as chairman during his tenure as a technical advisor?
Yeah, I think the issue is, can the person serve as the technical advisor and the technical chairman at the same time? Very good question.
Because I think that would be, like if they came out and said Mr. Speid will be seconded to the national team as a technical advisor and therefore step away from his role as the chairman of the technical committee during the period in which he holds this capacity. Which I think if you put it like that, then people could say, oh, all right, say he's not directly involved in the evaluation because when it comes on, who does the technical advisor report to management?
Very good question.
The technical advisor, from my understanding, will report to the technical committee who reports to the executive committee. Okay. And if it was an assistant coach, he reports to the head coach, and the head coach reports to who? The technical committee who reports to the executive committee.
Yeah.
So, and the person who's the technical advisor is also the chairman of the technical committee. So that's why I was saying the optics of it, like, so the people keep saying, oh, what kind of conflict? Why is it that he cannot step away?
No, man, but CC, to be fair to the people, everybody agree that there is a conflict.
No, all right, so we'll put it like this.
CC, all right, so, CC, no, I haven't heard one person who says there is no conflict.
No, man, all right, so put it past, we'll get past the conflict thing. More ask this question. Why is there an issue? Why is it that there nobody can say, like, why is it that it is unable to step away as chairman of the technical committee?
Why is it that is Sissy, you're too bright for Sissy, you're too educated to be asking. Write down the question that CC and read it to yourself.
The question is, is there anyone else that is, let me put it like this, is there anyone else that is qualified enough to be the chairperson of the technical committee, therefore relieving Mr. Speid of this burden, which is now putting himself into a conflict?
Sisi, obviously, in all of Jamaica, there must be somebody else.
But based on what I'm seeing, management, there's nobody.
Based on what Sisi? What do you mean that there's nobody?
There's nobody. The reason why I'm saying there's nobody, because the man is still in both positions. The man is in both positions.
So Sisi, Sisi, easy no, man, Sisi. What, Sisi? Come on, let's not. I don't think this is all right, Sisi. Don't you know that there are principals who teach like sixth form? You don't think that, and they teach they probably teach science in sixth form, but they are the principals at the school.
And the principal, all right, management.
So the point I'm making is not that there's no one else in all of Jamaica who can teach science.
Yeah, but management, that's a different thing.
No, Cece, it's the same thing. So not because listen, we agree. Cece, let me you just gotta tell me what you said to me. All right, go ahead.
All right, so let me tell you why it's a different thing. The principal teaching science is just in the absence. Same now about additional teacher, and he used to be teach science. Then go down, they go teach science, right? So the principal is just replacing that position, which is not necessarily like him about us do the work by himself, but it is not in direct contravention to him. Is not evaluating the science teacher.
Remember, we agree that it is a conflict of interest. Everybody agrees. That is not the issue we're discussing. The issue we're discussing now is the question you asked me.
All right, so then let me tell you
your question. All right, go ahead, Cece.
Go ahead.
So you asked me a question. You asked me a question because I'm going to have to run to my guest. You asked me a question. All right, and then you answer the question. And your answer to the question is that obviously there's nobody else.
Let me tell you why before we go.
I'm saying to you, I do not agree with you that there's no one else.
All right, so you don't agree, but I'm going to tell you why. When they asked about, when the president came and said, Speid is the best person to be the technical advisor, right?
Yes.
So obviously there was nobody else to be the technical advisor because he's the best person, the most suitable candidate to be the technical advisor.
Yes.
That is done and dusted.
Yes.
If you ask about the chairman of the technical committee or the person who is responsible for the technical committee, then the answer comes up. Speid is the best person available.
So let's ask that. Let's ask that. That is a question that probably needs to be asked in the next interview. Why does he have to still sit in the position of the chairman of the technical committee? Isn't there someone else on that technical committee that could, like you suggested, hold the position? But to suggest that because the question has not been asked, there's nobody else who can do it, is also not accurate. That's all I'm saying.
Well, as far as we see it, management, the reason why I said it is based on what is up. If you cannot take a person out of a position and give it to somebody else, then I by deductive reasoning will say there's nobody else.
Okay.
Yeah, the simple mathematics. But all I'm saying is we have to look at those things because it just doesn't bore well. But more people know something not really adverse to say that. I want Jamaica to qualify, but certain optics we don't want that certain optics on the team at this present moment in time, which probably can stop fans from certain. Yeah.
Hey, Sissy, me go leave you now. Big up yourself.
Yeah, man, look at big up.
All right then. People, Kieran and I want to talk about the U15. So just give me a couple of minutes. I know some of you want to hear his take on this matter. So I'm going to ask him to just give his take on this whole matter of the appointment of Mr. Rudolph Speid, and then we're going to talk about the implication for the under 15 team that is supposed to be playing this month in a week. Less than a week, and we don't know who has made the team yet. So we can look for the late great press release coming up in a jiffy after Bam challenged Simon to send the list out in the comment section today. We should be anticipating that, but the justice status that the under 15 team has gone down to Pool B because of the failure of the under 17 team to qualify. But and just how are we at a place at this time that on the 2nd of August we have a game, at least the competition start, and we are yet to see the Jamaican team. We are yet to see the name of the players, the name of the coach, or nothing, no press conference, no press release. Crazy stuff. But go ahead, Kerry.
You want to hear about Mr. Speid first?
Yeah. What is
it? So obviously I missed the previous discussion. So forgive me if I repeat, but the way I look at it basically is, the team didn't do well in the Gold Cup at all. I was trying to remember back to a time when we actually struggled in the Gold Cup to get out of the group stage, and even my memory doesn't go back quite that far. So it wasn't a good performance at the Gold Cup, and I think some choices, I suppose, some options come up when that happens. I think maybe one option that I don't know how far it was thought about by the people that are in charge, but usually when a team struggles, one of the options is to fire the coach, right? So problem with that option obviously is time. We don't meet again until World Cup qualifying starts. That's the next time the team meets. So firing the coach at this point would be tough in terms of getting a replacement in that knows the players well enough to be able to, do the best job. So that's one option. I guess the second option would be, hey, this is a very, what Mavericks say, a soup draw, where it's 3 Caribbean teams, quote unquote, easy, right? So one option is, I suppose, just leave everything the same and hope that the coach, with the support from his assistant coaches and his staff, can do a better job than we did in the Gold Cup, right? So that's another option. A third option, which is I think the option that they seem to have chosen, was to provide some kind of additional support, leave the coach in place, provide some additional support to the coach. And obviously that's the road they went down. Now, the person that they chose to be the person to provide that additional support, you can argue on both sides as to the wisdom of that choice, because one, in terms of Jamaican coaches, the preeminent Jamaican coach, I would think that would be fair to say, based on recent, happenings in the JPL and, also the Caribbean Cup that he won. Obviously the issue comes into place because of his other roles. So I don't know if you can avoid, I don't know how much you discussed it, so I don't know if you can avoid the conclusion that it's a conflict of interest. I think it would be almost, dishonest to not point that out, because I know there's been, discussions about conflict of interest with Mr. Speid, in the past. And the conclusion always, from his point of view anyway, fair or unfair, depending on how you look at it, is that he doesn't really get involved directly in the teams. So that's going to change now, obviously, because of the fact that he's taking up a role that's, technical advisor.
Advisor, yeah.
So the thing is, I don't know exactly what that will mean. I saw the press release that was put out by the JFF, and it talked about opponent analysis and different things. I also saw some snippets of interviews with the president. I even heard Mr. Speid talk a little bit about it in some clips that I saw. So what that role actually is, I don't think the press release, for example, would necessarily go into so much details of what's actually going to transpire. I think that's between the people that made the decision and the person that's being put in the role. So are we going to know that from the outside? Probably not, in terms of the extent to which that role is going to take Mr. Speid. So I kind of look at it both ways. I think it's not best practice at all, because of the conflict, obviously. But the other point is the team did look very poor in the Gold Cup. Did something need to happen for us to have the best chance to actually qualify for the World Cup? So I kind of see it from those two perspectives, and I'm sure you probably had a lively debate in terms of which one of those perspectives are the most valid. So this is kind of how I see it.
Yeah, and I mean three. I like the options. The one of removing the coach, 2, let things stay as they are, or 3, bringing some additional help, and like you've rightfully said, which is you can't avoid like conflict of interest. I think when it comes down to football in Jamaica, because of how small we are, just as a country, the limited, because people think there's a lot of people involved in football in Jamaica. I mean, structured football. It's not a lot. So you're going to find like your parish president probably is involved in operating a club, and he operates in a club and he has a role in the JFF, and he probably does work with a company who also sponsors football, and so all of these connections and thing. However, it is, will this conflict affect things to the point where it can cause just unrest around like a campaign like this? And I think probably that is what we have to look at. Like, is this type of conflict far reaching in terms of its implication? And maybe if we can avoid creating it, we should avoid it. While in some cases it may work, but this is too big of an issue, you know, if certain things would, I'll give you an example of something that I just thought about. And this is just based on previous discussion where people would suggest that Mr. Speid is picking the team, no matter how many times he denies it. You always have a group of people who believe that somehow he's involved in team selection. The president comes out and says in his comments that he will be involved in actually like team selection. So he has come out and said that no. All right. That part of his function would be in team selection. The press release don't say it that way. The press release says providing analysis on opponents and technical advice. The president says, right? We can say, well, technically, they are technically the same. So let's leave it at that. No, if for whatever reason the head coach decides on his own, because giving advice don't mean it must be followed, that I am not going to select this player unless the coach comes out and say I have chosen not to, then it could easily fall back, depending on who the player is, who the player is connected to. It could fall back to a Mr. Speid. Unfairly so, it could be, or rightly so. And it is that kind of a thing, I think, like, if consideration was given to, like, what are the implications of that? Or maybe you cannot be concerned about that because either way people are going to say things. But I just think about like the implications of things like that. Again, there may be a Cavaliers player or a former Cavaliers player that based on form, like this guy called Ronaldo Webster. He's playing in the qualifiers if his team does well. Former Cavaliers player. Now imagine all of a sudden in September he comes into the team, and one of the quality players or one of the players who was here before automatically falls out. Then it is so easy for people to say, you see what I mean? All of a sudden, Webster, who couldn't make the team, has made a team. And people forget about the form of Webster. It don't matter to them if Webster is doing well. It don't matter if he's outperforming the player he has replaced. The thing is, the only reason why he's there is because Rudolph Speid has this, advisory role. And I'm wondering if that is healthy for the team. And
Yeah, and the way I look at it is, if you're being fair, you can't really avoid that criticism because the conflict is there. I don't think it makes any sense to pretend the conflict is not there. Whether it's acted upon or not, the conflict is there. So I'm sure that these things must have been discussed when the decision was being made. And which is why it's always a balance, right? I suppose from their point of view, we are 6 games away from the World Cup, either qualifying or not qualifying. So is what Mr. Speid brings in terms of expertise in whatever role, because I still don't think we on the outside are necessarily going to know the details of the role that he's going to play there when he's at the games, before the games, in training, etc. Is the whatever he's going to bring to the team in a positive way, does that override all the different things that you just said? The potential of conflict, the arguments that people are going to have if a player comes in or if a player is not selected, which is another possibility. So I don't know. I don't like. I don't necessarily see it from just like a one-sided point of view. I know. Yeah. I would assume that the majority opinion is, hey, this is a conflict that goes beyond the conflict we were talking about before, and now it's an actual, like, a much more, I don't know if hands-on is the right word, conflict. I think that's a fair judgment to make. But I just think the question is whether what he brings in, and I know there'll be disagreement with that as well. People will say, well, Mr. Speid doesn't have international experience as being like an international head coach. So what is he going to tell Mr. McLaren, for example, that has all this experience of being a coach on the international level? The fact that we're also playing Caribbean teams, what level of expertise do we say that Mr. Speid has against Caribbean teams? We're playing Trinidad. I'm sure he's played against Trinidadian players. He played against Curacao players. So I know all of those arguments are going to come in. But at the end of the day, I think it's the people that made the decision, obviously, are saying that what Mr. Speid is going to bring to the team is going to override all of those different things. So I think that remains to be seen. I don't think we're going to know that until we actually see what happens.
Yeah. And then, good point. And then, with that being said, if we go by Oral Tracy's comment, this is soup.
Well, I think that's an incorrect comment, but anyway. Go ahead.
But let's go. All right. This is soup. We're going to qualify. Why then don't go with what is already established?
Well, my answer would be it's not soup. It's not soup because first of all, we would expect to beat, for example, the other two teams, even though one of them is a rival, and sometimes with a rival, how much better one team is than the other doesn't necessarily tell you who's going to win the game. But there's a team in the group, and it's only one of us that are going to make it to the World Cup automatically. There's a team in the group that's playing very well, and that's getting new players, and that has a big coach as well, big international experienced coach. So I think that's original video that Maverick made about the soup. I think he may have needed to drink some of that soup because I don't think it's going to be as easy as that. And I think he's changed maybe his mind since then, because I saw another video he made. I think he was defending the Speid appointment and saying, well, it's all hands on deck. We need everything that we can to be able to qualify for the World Cup. So I think those are the two arguments that are in opposition, right? How much does Mr. Speid bring with his expertise in terms of whatever role he's going to be doing versus what the potential issues are with conflicts and other things.
Yeah. All right. We will see. For me, I also believe that if he's not going to be hands-on, then it never needed to be made public. Like,
yeah, I don't get that impression that it's not going to be hands-on though.
Yeah, right. So
just based on what I've heard.
Yeah, because if I'm thinking like I made reference to what happened at the Unity Cup and even games that we have played in Jamaica, where Mr. Speid has sat in the stands, and either before after the game, even at training sessions, he has been at training sessions, and then he would meet with the coach, and that was to have technical meetings to discuss stuff. What that would mean then is that if that is already an available option, why make it public when there is that? It's not like you're going to have to pay money, for example, and even if you give the person the title, but like I said, unless it is not that, and it is more a hands-on involvement in the whole process.
What you just mentioned, I don't know, I guess it's semantics, right? But I would consider that hands-on. So even if you're not on the training pitch running the session and on the bench making the changes, helping the coach make the changes, if you're there observing and talking a lot to the coach. Remember, Mr. Speid doesn't normally travel with the team. But Mr. Speid traveled with the team to the Unity Cup. It was news, I think. I don't know how much in the public or if it's just people that really follow it a lot, but it was news. So yeah, it's a good point to make as to whether it needed to be like this official thing or it could have been just done sort of behind the scenes. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Simon has returned. Then someone said earlier, why not the technical director? Isn't the technical part of the technical director's job to give technical advice to the head coach?
You want me to answer that? I don't know if I'll answer. I don't know if I have an answer for that. But yeah, you would think that there would be some feedback. I think I saw a clip where Mr. Speid was saying that the amount of hours that he's spoken to the coach. I don't remember. I don't know if that's recent or like in the tournament or I don't know. But yeah, I think feedback is a good thing if the people have a good relationship and the coach is open to the feedback. So I don't see an issue with it. As to who it should be, yeah, that's I don't know. I don't know if I could answer that one.
All right, Speed Bumps and Sleeping Police as we move to some youth football. I understand that there is a appointment. A coach from in the last U17 ranked just said that Colin said that he was told that there is a new U17 coach appointed.
Is it me? I'm joking.
But the bigger thing is that the performance of the U17 in the last qualification, them not advancing, affected the I don't know how it works or why both are connected. But what it basically did is that though our U14 team, I think it was the U15, did well the last time they played in this tournament. I think they finished third. They played it right. They were in Pool A this time around. Though they finished third at the last tournament, they are now in Pool B. And the thing is that a lot of this is due to the poor performance of the U17. Yeah, we finished third in there. Yeah, isn't that what I said in League A? And now we are in League B. Thank you, Simon. Yes. No. I mean, how much do you know about this, Gary, and the sense in it? Or this is just down to the U17 and we need to suffer the consequences for the poor performance of that U17 team and not qualifying?
Yeah, I have no idea because it doesn't make sense to me. We had a U15 tournament, like you said, 2 years ago, and we were in League A and we got to the semifinals. So we're having another U15 tournament. Jamaica's first game is on Monday of next week. And for some reason, CONCACAF decided to use the performance in the U17 tournament to rank the teams for the U15 tournament. Now, I haven't seen any justification or any reason put out anywhere. They just say that that's how they rank them, which I don't understand, because what does the U17 performance have to do with U15? I would understand if you never had a U15 tournament and you have to have some way of kind of judging which nations are strong from which nations are weak. But when you already had a U15 tournament and the team did so well in League A, what Jamaica is doing in League B, I don't really have a clue.
Yeah, and I mean, Simon, I understand your comment, and I think you're just giving what the stipulations or the rules or the regulations are. But here's my question: that still don't make any sense, because if Jamaica wins it, we are in 2025. What if the U17 don't qualify next year? Because isn't the World Cup next year in 2020? The U17 is every year. So what if they go again next year and don't qualify? Will that again set the team back to Pool B? Like I don't see the connection, because if you win Pool B, it don't matter what the U17 team does. Is that what you said, Simon? So
it sounds to me, just by what he's saying, is that maybe the next U15 will be ranked based on the U15 this year. We'll need to win League B of the US of the U15 championships in order to get to League A in 2027.
It's 2 years away. So
it sounds to me like what he's saying is that CONCACAF is going to use the U15 rankings to rank the next U15. But why don't we use U15 rankings from last time to rank this U15. That part I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me.
No, I don't know what he's saying. CONCACAF Competition Committee have stated that U17 ranks are used for U15 because there's no CONCACAF U. So that is why they use the U17 ranking for the U15 tournament. All right. So fine. So what I'm saying but that means then winning the U15 don't necessarily get you into League A for the next U15 if your under 17 performs poorly again. Yeah, you understand what I'm asking? Because if I finish third and I still get pushed back to Pool B, if I win or finish second, do I get promoted? Even if my U17 team is failing.
Yeah, because think of it, this U15, basically, they took the top 8 the teams that qualified for the U17 World Cup, and they added a guest team, which is, I think, Saudi Arabia again, which they had in U15 last time. So they basically took the teams that qualified for U17. I'm assuming that's what it was. I don't know if it's actually rankings or it's based on what they did in the actual tournament. Because the last U15 tournament, for example, once we got to the quarterfinals, you could use the 8 teams that got to the quarterfinals of U15 and do the rankings for this U15 like that, and then invite Saudi Arabia and have one group of 5 or one group of 4. So again, it doesn't really make sense to me.
Yeah, because if it goes by the U17 rankings, all right.
Then the next time it'll go the same.
That's what I'm saying. So the regulation for the youth are yet to be revealed. What we know is that with no U15 CONCACAF ranking, they use. All right. So I understand. All right, Simon, I think I understand that. I understand that they have to use U17 to determine the ranking for U15.
But they don't have. They don't have to. They have. That's what they've chosen to do.
Yeah, right. So I am saying, regardless of our position in this present U15 tournament, there's no guarantee that we go to the other pool because they're going to use the U17 ranking.
It depends on what they want to do. So again, to me, it doesn't make sense because, like Simon is pointing out there, the rules basically for the next one is not written or it's not released anyway. So we don't know whether if we win this U15 League B, that we're going to be in A. We don't know that.
We don't know that. That's what I'm saying.
We only know when CONCACAF tells us, right?
Which is pointless.
Yeah, it's strange to me. I'll have to admit that.
All right. So now, one of the other things I want to talk about, because the last U15 where we finished third, I know Kadriano Marsh was involved in that team, right? I think he played in the U17 qualifiers. There was one other player,
Kyle McLean.
Right? I don't think he made the last. He was in the early stage of the U17, but he never made the final squad.
No, he was in the U17. He was a starter in the U17. Both Kai and Kadriano.
Right.
Kyle McLean. You may be thinking of Kyle Miles.
Okay, Kyle McLean. All right, there you go. So those two. No, what I'd love to see is if there's any player outside of Jamaica in this present U15. Are they going to use the players that played in that Caribbean U14 tournament in Trinidad and Tobago? That the one? You know that group of players? When was it? That was last year as well.
Yeah, U14, that tournament was in Tobago. Yeah, so they won, and that was Caribbean, so that was CFU. So they won the CFU U14. My understanding is going to be most of those players. I did see one overseas-based player involved in the training, so I haven't seen the squad to know if he was selected. But as far as I know, because remember we did JFF 2010, 2011 camps, 2 of them last year. So 2010, 2011 is the age group that are going to the tournament now. But you know, as far as I know, none of those players were invited.
Yeah. So let me tell you this now, people. So when they were doing the talent ID camps, let's call them that, in the States for the U17, because it is a yearly thing, so there were other camps like for the next batch of players. So they weren't just looking at players for the qualifier that we filled in, but for the next qualifier and for the next qualifier. All right. But some of those players, the 2011 and 2010 players, were very good players. I know that there are a couple of them that are in MLS, at least one of them in MLS Next Club.
Yeah, quite a few of them are in MLS Next clubs. There's one of them that is in actually MLS, the second division, right underneath MLS, not the academy, but the pro team. And he's 15. So yeah.
Right. So you have at least one player from the 2011, 2010 batch that is in a team that is one level below MLS. And that player, as far as I know, is not in the squad or wasn't invited to any of the training. All right. As far as I know. All right. No, I hear this thing about and again, listen, congratulations to Simon, they're talking about U17, about Omar Dawes and Oscar Dawes and stuff. We're not there. But congratulations to the team again that went to Tobago and won that tournament. But the assumption that because they won that tournament, better players were not available is also flawed. All right? So not because they won the tournament, it means that they were the best players. Because you may have had other players who, if they were in the team would have been just as good or better. There is that possibility. All right? So we should not look and say, well, these 17, 16 players won a tournament in Tobago, so they are the best players available to us at this level. Because there are other players, and players grow. A player both of them may have been at the same level, and one, because of the environment he's in, has grown. And I think sometimes this is where we get fooled by success. And because we have done well, we don't think we need to add anything to it. You know, this whole cliche, if it don't broke, don't fix it. But it don't mean that you can't add to it. And I think it is very unfortunate sometimes that we haven't tried to, having done these ID camps, and these players already have passports because, you know, they were being advised to get your documentation and everything. They were not given an opportunity. And I'm not saying that we should go and get, because I know some of you are going to go to the extreme, because you're very extreme in your views. You're going to say that, man, we want to be a foreigner. No, what I'm saying is that in the same way, in the under 15 that we did, we had 2 players. I think Raekwon would have been a part of it, but I think he was in Spain.
He actually got his passport too late. His passport actually came the day the tournament started. So I think he would have been in the team as a third overseas-based Jamaican for the U15 last time.
Yes, so I think we could have at least again gone back for 3. Like, who are the best 3? And say, let's include them. Because they're going to possibly form the group for your next under 17.
Yeah, that's how I see it as well. So I know, for example, we have jumping back a second, for U14, generally it's a CFU tournament, and we normally use a fully domestic-based team, which is what we did last year, right? The U15 that played 2 years ago, I think because of COVID, we didn't have a U14 tournament the year before that. So the U15 went out and scouted players. Actually, the same scouting mechanism that we started, before any of the coaches were involved, the U17. We had those original camps, and that's where Kai and Cadriano came from, and also Raekwon. So that team, because of the quota of 3, I believe. So I'm just going by what I know of. I don't know the inside details of the federation, but I know, for example, that I've heard it said that for under 15, it's 3 that you can have from overseas. I just don't know what the plan was in terms of this U15, because we did have another JFF camp, I think around 2 weeks ago in Atlanta. And that was for 2009, 2010, and 2011. So 2009 would be the next U17, right? Next year. And then 2010s and 11s would be the age group to play this current U15. But I'm not sure why it was timed that way, because, I just said that the tournament is starting on Monday in terms of Jamaica's matches. And this camp was 2 weeks ago. So I would have assumed that normally you're probably sending like a preliminary list of 60 or whatever a month before, or more than that, before the tournament starts. So I'm not sure what we were trying to really achieve with looking at 2010, 2011 players a couple of weeks before the U15 tournament. Because to me, even if you had found a couple that you were intending to use, one, it may be too late for their registration. And 2, obviously, you'd be trying to integrate a player very, very late in the process. So not sure what happened there.
Yeah. All right. So Reggae Boys _ reactor. He says we have limited funds management. We should try to keep a local U15 together throughout the year and give them some experience. It sometimes make up for the other things by keeping a group together. I totally agree with keeping them together, but that does not mean, 1, you can't bring 3 other players from overseas in. And secondly, what money is it going to cost? Because maybe the parents would have been willing to get the tickets like they did with the U17 to be at the camps at no expense to the federation. And then when they have the official camp, the JFF is responsible for that. So I don't think funding is an issue unless the parents could not have afforded to have their kids in those training camps, especially because school in the States give holiday depending on where you are, some in late May, early June. So they have a lot of time. Some just go back to school like in August and some in September. So depending on what state they are in, they could have had the time. And their parents who would have been willing, just like with the U17, to cover some of the costs for this, because they, like I said, they did camps. They did the talent ID camps, and they paid to be at those camps where they had to travel from and they had to stay. So why wouldn't they, if included, just like how Cadriano Marsh and Kai McLean? Yes. But we are aware of that, Kira. Do you think like parents would
Yeah, so what I would say, so the first part of the comment, I think we're actually already doing a good job of that in talking about the local players, because most of these players that are going to this tournament have been in regular training. These are the kids that came up through the TDS, that's the talent development scheme, where JFF, I think, applied to FIFA for funding. And so I think FIFA gives funding basically for that program to continue. So I think that's part of the reason the U14 did well last year, is because they were regularly together. And this U15 are basically those same kids, and they have been regularly together. They have had, I think they're in camp right now. I think they went in camp on Tuesday, and I believe they're leaving on Saturday. But over the last couple of months, they've been regularly in camp. The second part about the funding, I don't think it would have been an issue, the U17 parents extensively funded their travel for camps, and we had a lot of U17 camps, including in Jamaica. Most of them were in Jamaica, apart from the original scouting camps. And I know for sure that, for example, because I'm in kind of regular contact with some of the U15 ones, because they came to our camp. I was the liaison for those parents, so I've heard a lot from them in this last few months. And I don't think it would have been an issue in terms of funding from the federation's perspective to get them seen, because what could have happened is you know, for the ones that we're evaluating in those two camps, say the coach says he wants to look at 5 or he wants to look at 7, you could bring those players to Jamaica and play them with the bigger group. And if you want to select 1, or if you want to select 0, or if you want to select 3, then that would be up to the coaches to decide. I'm not aware of that happening, so I'm not exactly sure why that is, but I don't think it would have been a funding issue, because we wouldn't have have to rely on the GFF for that. Those travel, in terms of being seen to try to be in the squad, would have been funded by the parents.
Yeah. See this person saying that Mannings, can't the ambassador come on board for U15 and get some sponsorship to pay for the players camp like he did Garden 17, because U17 is developed. I think that should be U15 is development. The ambassador have new role now, man. He's not ambassador.
Ambassador is busy with the senior national team, I believe.
Ambassador, not ambassador again. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Kerry can answer that one. U17 parents did what, Kerry? Are you able to back up this statement? Wasn't it the ambassador who covered camps for the U17? Man, please fact check this statement by your guest. I feel like this is somebody. I feel like somebody like using a name that probably knows you and know me. What this statement? Yeah, yes, what they said.
What I said was that the U17 parents extensively funded the travel for their kids to come to camps. So that's what I said, and that's true. So obviously the ambassador had other expenses that he would have been taken care of as well, including for some of the travel as well. Because we went to New York, for example, we went to IMG in Florida. So some of those expenses were, I don't know, between the federation and the ambassador, how they took care of that. But I know some of the parents funded extensively travel for their kids.
Yeah, and I know that, and I've spoken to, and he said, Simon, he said Mexico.
Yes, Mexico, we had a pre-tournament camp a couple of weeks before. So that was funded, I think, some by the GFF, some by the ambassador. And I think the kids had to get to Florida as well. So that part of it was funded by the parents. So like a combination of the 3.
Yeah. But and let me say, this is not taken from the preparation. All right. Of the local or the domestic players, right? But at the same time, if there is a 2 high quality kids that have passport and want to play, and the parents want them to come, we should not resist it if they're better.
I think, in my opinion, you should just at least have a chance to look at them, because otherwise, in my opinion, like, what would be the purpose of having 2 2010, 2011 camps last year, for example, and we had another one this year in Atlanta? All of those are the same age group as the players that are going to the tournament. So if they invited any of those from any of those 3 camps, I'm not aware. But I would have thought that would have been like a natural course for you to have the actual coaches who are part of the teams, because the camps were put on under the auspices of the JFF. And obviously the coach of the U15 is a different coach than those coaches. So it would have been good for the U15 coach to be able to see the top 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I don't know what the number is, of those players, and see if any of those could help him with his team based on his decision.
Yeah. All right, CC, let me ask you this. Do you have any proof of parents being disgruntled when their team, when their child don't make the under 17 team? Do you have proof that the parents are disgruntled? So if they send their kids to one of the U17 camp and they don't make the final cut, even if the JFF say you have proof that they are disgruntled. So if the JFF paid for the way, are they disgruntled about the money paid or the fact that the child don't make? I don't think it matters. Like every parent probably want their child to make it. So there is going to be that feeling. I think disgruntled is a strong word, but parents will be disappointed whether it's their money or not. Right? But I think honest parents will probably, if they see a child that is way better than them, their child, I don't know if they like, oh, what? Like, yeah. I don't know that they would be disgruntled to the point where they come out publicly and talk about what they have spent and things like that. I don't know. You work with parents, Kiri, so maybe you can.
My opinion is it depends on what we're talking about. Because in my own personal opinion, I think if for example we had a camp in Coral Springs, and that's identification camp, right? So we're looking at overseas-based Jamaicans. Say we're looking at 26 at the time. And for that camp, we see, okay, these 5 show great potential. We're going to bring those 5 to Jamaica. The parents are going to pay because it's still part of the evaluation process, right? They're not on any team. So they got evaluated in Florida, which is like a first step of the evaluation process. You say, okay, these 5 look really good. Parents, are you able to bring your, son to Jamaica? The center is there, so we'll accommodate them. We'll transport them from the airport to the center. We'll accommodate them. We'll give them food, but you have to pay the plane ticket to get there. To me, that's still part of the evaluation process. So I've never experienced. I'm trying to think of how many overseas-based Jamaicans that we brought to camps in Jamaica. It must have been over 20, at least 20. And I can't think of one that had an issue with the son not being selected after, them paying to be evaluated. When it comes to the selection of the team now, once the team is selected, that should be the federation's responsibility. Where that is, sometimes also in the evaluation period, you get a point before the team is selected where you have a larger group of players than the 21 or 18 or whatever that you're allowed to select. That can become fuzzy depending on how long that preparation period is. But I think for the evaluation period, it's not an issue at all. Like, people realize that the federation is not awash with cash. So the ability for your son to be seen is a privilege to potentially make the national team. Doesn't guarantee that your son is going to be in the team. So I personally haven't seen any issues with that part of it.
All right, so Cece, I hope that addresses your issue. Listen, we're at the 3-hour mark. I really wish Kira was here earlier, but he was don't know if he was coaching or he was playing some football.
I was trying to play. I didn't get any additional highlights to show you, but next time I jump on, I'll be sure to bring some.
Listen, because the games are when? Which evening? Wednesday and Fridays, right?
Yeah, mostly.
Wednesdays and Fridays. Don't worry. When I reach up, sometime I'll go here. I certainly want to come. And I hope. Listen, I'm not coming here to rub no bench in a boss and to.
It all depends on quality, because we don't have any kind of conflict of interest here. So if you're not good enough, you're definitely not going to be in the team. So you have to prove yourself.
All right, boss. But I'm there sometime this month, knocking on a few. You understand me, people?
Look forward to it.
You're going down to Aruba?
We will see. I'm hoping to at some point, God's willing. So if you see me there, don't be surprised.
I don't know. I'm supposed to be going to Bermuda. So I don't know that is going to work.
Okay.
Yeah.
You might see me there as well. You never know. Bermuda.
Yeah. All right. All right, listen, Kerry, thank you for coming on at
Sure,
short
anytime.
notice as usual. Always a pleasure talking with you.
All right, bro. Catch you next time.
Yeah, man. All right then. So that was Kerry, parent, liaison officer with the U17. But not only that, ardent fan of the Jamaica football, male, female, from senior to junior. I want to thank all the callers today. Big up Jason Guna, special advisor to the advisor. Yeah, man. But big up all the callers today. I would not have agreed with all the sentiments of all the callers, but I guess it is how they feel, and yeah. But yeah, whatever the outcome, whatever the selections are, here's what we need to do. When that team takes the field, we support them. That's a Jamaican spirit. At the end of the day, if all of us got our preferences, then the whole system would be chaotic, because we have so many different expectations. We would agree on some things, but there's so many differences. Imagine if the committee that selects the team was Peso, CC, Demo, Big D Len, Jason Guna, Warren Webster, Danny Dredd, Drew Fortis, Dre Any Weather Sport, Bam. Imagine how the squad would look. Yeah, you understand what I mean? So our personalities and all of those things gives us different opinions on things. And therefore, what we must do, whether all our preferences are met or not, that we stand behind Team Jamaica and we support them. Because that represents us as Jamaicans. Win, lose, or draw, I support Jamaica. I don't support it because of the persons representing. I support it because of the flag that they represent, the Jamaica national flag. So before God and all mankind, I pledge the love and loyalty of my heart. The wisdom. You know that. I don't even want to go any further. But yeah, we support Jamaica. Always remember that. Always remember that. That's something I learned while in England. That you see these fans, they quarrelly, I think is Madueke coming to Arsenal. But here's the thing. When all is said and done, I am telling you, these people turn up beating their drums and buying their jerseys still. They get behind their club. It's like the England team. It don't matter if no Chelsea player is not there. They support England. And so I charge you. Black, green, and gold. That's who we support every time. Big up yourself, Tafari. Understand your position. And again, you have a right to believe that, my brother. You understand me? You have a right to the decision that you believe is better for your mental health. You understand me? Because some of us can manage the stress of the football, And so, like some people, I just take some time off because the football can be very stressful mentally, emotionally as well. And for the state of my mental well-being, I stay away. I am Manning's man. This has been I Am Sure Sports. Again, before you go, hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to the platform, make sure you subscribe. Have yourself a safe night. We'll be having my friends from Ali Cup doing a big draw on the platform tomorrow. Make sure you join us for that. As usual, when it comes to the end of our program, we say we're over and we are out of here.
Watch this. You know, say the World General Daily Ranks says, I'm ready for it, you know. Ali Cup and a Folly Cup, you know, say, it's a high grade, it's not a Mali Cup. Saying, big up, a matter of fact, remember, big up the sponsors, them first. Complete Shipping, Sam Isaacson Son, Western Sports. Big up, but you know how it go. ASK Courier, big up yourself, Showtime Ambulance, and we have big up Isato. And guess what? I big up some of my brethren, them, because them are going to because it's a big day. Big up Sambo, big up Bats, Barris, watching the Valley, think me not see you. Big up yourself. Oh, again, Daily Ranks, if I big up Clint, and big up the General, you know how it go. It's all about Ali Cup and a Folly Cup, August 13, 14, 15, 16, 137 Mountain View Avenue. You know, over excellence and that. It's a big day, so make sure you're there. Daily Ranks, I want my feet, man, my feet, you see? Ali Cup.